Afternoon, St. Louis. Kevin Slaten with you on the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court, coming your way live today on 590 The Man and streaming live at talkstl.com. We're at the Marshall Wireless Sprint store in St. Charles, right off of Highway 94 on Mid-Rivers Mall Drive. So come on in, the big Deerbergs Plaza. We're there down at the far end. And you can take advantage of the great iPhone plan that they have at the Marshall Wireless Sprint stores all over town. Pre-order your iPhone here. They have the iPhones in stock, in fact. And you get that exclusive iPhone for Life plan, $70 per month for life, unlimited everything. And that includes the cost of the new phone. And they'll pay your cancellation fee up to $350. In addition, today's the last day for the $200 buyback iPhone promotion. So you trade in that iPhone, and to get the new iPhone, and you get a $200 buyback. So these things are all going on at the Marshall Wireless Sprint stores, and we're here in the St. Charles area on Mid-Rivers Mall Drive, just off of Highway 94. Our lines are always open at 314-399-8923, 314-399-8923. Well, where do we start from yesterday's debacle in San Francisco by the Bay? It was windy yesterday, so maybe we should start there. If I hear one more person on a national telecast, Harold Reynolds, who foams at the mouth, a little bit of Joe Buck yesterday, in fact, and I'm shocked that it came out of Joe Buck's mouth, that Randall Grichuk is the next coming of Roberto Clemente, it seems to me, according to these guys. And I'm wondering, based on what, other than what Mike Matheny tells them? I haven't seen any great defense from Randall Grichuk. I've seen bad defense. Yesterday was a circus tent with a ball hitting at the bottom of the wall, and people, well, Hunter Pence, he did the same thing. No, he didn't do the same thing, number one. Hunter Pence turned the wrong way on a fly ball, then the wind caught it, and it hit more than halfway up the wall. Hunter Pence had no chance to catch that ball no matter where he was. In Grichuk's case, he misjudged where the ball was coming down. He could have caught it for an out. Would have saved 3 runs. So Grichuk hit a solo home run later in the game. That didn't get back the 3 that he gave up with his glove. But the thing that bothered me the most was Joe Buck then saying he's head and shoulders above Taveras defensively. I can only assume that Matheny told him that because there's no way anybody has seen enough of Oscar Taveras defensively to know whether he's good or bad. He seems just fine to me, as Grichuk did until this playoff series, when he dropped a fly ball when he hit the wall, and then he misjudged it terribly yesterday. So all I've seen from Grichuk defensively so far are mistakes. I haven't seen that from Taveras during his stint in the regular season. Of course, he hasn't gotten a chance to play and didn't get a chance to pinch hit yesterday. So I'm wondering where this great defensive reputation that Grichuk has is coming from, other than Mike Matheny. And based on watching him manage, we understand that you shouldn't pay attention to Mike Matheny's evaluation of talent. Let's keep a list of the people he's tried to run off and put down this year. Colton Wong, who he sent back down to AAA. Clearly tried to run. He don't like him. He doesn't like Burgess. He doesn't like Taveras. If Mark Ellis was healthy, Wong would have never played in these playoffs. If you recall, game 1, he started Kozma at second base against the Dodgers. That's how little he thinks of Wong. So it's unbelievable, but his little pets are clear. Grichuk. Of course, the other ones, Carpenter, Molina, those guys, but Molina and Carpenter deserve what they get. But the pitching situation, he obviously doesn't like Carlos Martinez. There ain't any doubt about that. If you don't bring Carlos Martinez into that game yesterday, there's just something missing in your brain. I don't know why Choate was out there to begin with, but let's just give him the benefit of the doubt and say, okay, Choate pitches to Brandon Crawford. That's it, especially when he walked him. If that doesn't tell you that clearly he has no idea what he's doing out there, what does? I mean, that was pretty embarrassing that you walked the one guy that you're supposed to get out. But he did. He walked him. Stunningly.
He's not that good.
So then you let him stay in to pitch to a right-handed hitter who you know is going to bunt. Why? Why? Why would you allow that guy to get a bunt down?
Well, that's because you're an idiot.
Why wouldn't you bring Martinez in, whose nasty stuff is hard to bunt? So after he gets 2 strikes on Perez, he still leaves Choate in there. Now you've got a guy who's swinging away against a left-handed pitcher who served up hits to the tune of a 385 average against him during the regular year from right-handers. Sure enough, Perez hammers one foul, just rips it. That should have awakened you. So far we've had 2 or 3 alarm bells go off and just 2 hitters. But it didn't wake Matheny up. He keeps him out there. Perez rips a single. Now certainly you're going to bring him out there, aren't you? Because after all, well, you say, but Kevin, Blanco's a left-handed hitter, and you want the left-handed pitcher. Not this left-handed pitcher. Blanco was 3 for 6 against him with 3 doubles. Blanco hasn't hit a double against anybody, but he hit 3 against Choate. So no Martinez again, whose nasty stuff is equally effective against anybody. And sure enough, Blanco gets the bunt down, and Martinez, a more athletic fielder, certainly would have had a better shot at making a play than Choate. In addition, most people didn't pay attention. Colton Wong, again, a horrendous lack of fundamentals by this team that we always see. Colton Wong has the wrong foot on the bag, so he's stretching from first base with the wrong foot, which shortens your reach, meaning you'll never get to an errant throw, and he didn't. In addition, his wrong foot was way too far on the dugout side of the bag. Your foot's supposed to be on the edge of the bag to the infield side. It should be your right foot, not your left foot. So they did everything wrong. Now, that's not to excuse Choate's wild throw, but it just goes to show you how poorly drilled in fundamentals this team is. It's been one of the worst defensive series I've ever seen in postseason play by the Cardinals. And yet they don't put a premium on defense. They never have. But they're going to tell you that John Jay makes this falling down catch early in the game. That's funny. The Giants center fielder made exactly the same catch but didn't fall down. Falling down doesn't make it a great catch. Falling down makes you look like an idiot if you don't have to fall down. But this team defensively is so challenged. You've got a bad defensive third baseman, a mediocre shortstop with no range, a second baseman who's either here or there. You never know. Matt Adams is their best infielder defensively. There isn't any doubt about that. The big man can move, and he has pretty good hands. And now with Molina gone, it's stunning, of course, that Bochy didn't try to steal all day, though they didn't have too many guys on after the first inning. There's another problem for me with Matheny. Why do you take John Lackey out after 6 innings? He certainly had righted the ship after Grichuk's error, in my opinion, cost the Cardinals 3 runs. Lackey was virtually unhittable the rest of the way. Gives up a hit to Tim Hudson, and that's it. Had only thrown 78 pitches, 79. He couldn't pitch the 7th inning? Why not? And why is your choice Marco Gonzalez when you only have 2 left-handers? We can get into why Sam Freeman's not on this playoff roster, but, of course, that takes a lot of explaining. But he's not, so you only have 2 left-handers. Why would you waste Gonzalez in the 7th inning when you know you're going to need situational pitching later in a tie ball game? None of this made any sense. And Manus, why wouldn't you have double switched when you sent Manus out there? That way, you wouldn't have had to pitch him only 1 inning. He could have pitched 2. I mean, there were so many fundamental things that are wrong. Throw Bochy under the fire. Bochy doesn't leave Morse in, but he leaves Perez in. It turns out Perez gets a hit, but Perez can't hit unless Randy Choate's the pitcher. Michael Morse is always a threat. He's a long ball threat. Well, he can't run. You know, he had the surgery. Then why is he playing? He ran the bases Saturday. So he can run well enough. And on a team that doesn't have any home runs in this series, you'd think you'd want Morse's bat out there. But now we're saving guys for save insurance. Mike Matheny now is saving Martinez to save Rosenthal. What? Who's ever heard of these things? You save Martinez in case Rosenthal chokes it up again. Wow. That's nuts. That's absolutely nuts. And then I see Fox doing the pregame show. What's wrong with the Giants' offense? What's wrong with the Giants' offense? The Giants have outscored the Cardinals in this series. The question is, what's wrong with the Cardinal offense? I would say the Giants' offense is extremely effective, given the fact that they haven't hit a single home run. And they've outscored a Cardinal team that seems to be hitting home runs all the time. Of course, none with anybody on base. Here's a quick solution for Mike Matheny. I know that he doesn't take advice very well, but this is free. I'm giving it to him free, no charge. I know he has a script that he sticks to, and he never deviates from the script no matter the situation. Matt Carpenter should be hitting third. It's real simple. John Jay is a banjo hitter, all right? He's like a nagging fly. He doesn't go away, and if you don't throw him breaking balls, he's going to get base hits, as he has shown. He should be leading off. He gets on base. He gets hits. Colton Wong should be hitting second. Matt Carpenter third, Holiday fourth. If Molina can play fifth, Peralta sixth, otherwise Peralta fifth. And there's your lineup. You fill in with the other guys. Adams bats after. You can put Adams after Molina if you want, and followed by Peralta, or vice versa. It doesn't matter to me. Or if you want to hit Adams fifth and Adams fourth and Holiday fifth, that's okay. But your top three should be Jay, Wong, Jay, Wong, Carpenter. Carpenter's your best hitter, and Carpenter is hitting way too many times with no one on base. So you want to give him RBI chances, but that will never happen because Mike Matheny knows better than anybody else. There's no sense changing anything because it's working so well. But that was free. No charge. Martinez should be your first arm out of the bullpen in the seventh inning. That's free as well. But now we're going to sit there and wait for Martinez to pitch only if Rosenthal gags it up, as is his wont. And I guess we'll wait until next year to see Waka. Matheny claimed Waka was a great insurance arm for extra innings, and there we were in extra innings yesterday. No Waka. So I guess Waka's there for window dressing. I've never seen a manager who wastes more players in a playoff situation with roster spots in my life. If Waka's not going to pitch, especially Sam Freeman should be on this playoff roster.
Absolutely. Hey.
You got that, Rocky. And now you're down a man because of Molina's injury. Now, you don't know what's wrong with Molina because if you read the local newspaper, they give conflicting reports of the exact same story. One story says it's torn. The same story says it's a strain. Well, which is it? It's a big difference. Strain or a tear is a significant difference. But we don't know based on the crack reporting team the local newspaper sends out there to cover the Cardinals on a daily basis. So there you have it. Vogelsong against Miller tonight. Vogelsong has owned the postseason, not just the Cardinals, but the postseason in general. Advantage Giants tonight. Miller's going to have to pitch his best game ever. And at some point, the Giants are going to hit the ball out of the ballpark. They're overdue. Posey, Sandoval. They're overdue. I know Sandoval's hitting over 400, but he hasn't hit the long ball yet. So at some point they will. The Cardinals have to pray that it comes with nobody on base. But I'll entertain all of your thoughts on any of these particular scenarios, as well as what you saw yesterday, and why this Grichuk seems to be the toast of Mike Matheny, and, of course, by extension, the toast of the media, because whatever Matheny tells the media, that's what they swallow. All you have to use are your own eyes. And then they're going to try to excuse the blunder by Grichuk by saying, well, Hunter Pence did the same. I don't care. First of all, it wasn't the same thing. I don't care if it was. Does that mean you excuse your player's gaffe because the other player made one? But then to say, as Joe Buck did, that he's head and shoulders over Oscar Taveras defensively is just ludicrous. That's not true. And I'd like to know what anybody bases that on other than what Mike Matheny tells the media. Royals win last night again. They're a game from heading into the World Series. One game away. 314-399-8923 is our number if you want to jump in as we broadcast live from the Marshall Wireless Sprint Store in St. Charles on Mid-Rivers Mall Drive, just off of Highway 94. You watch any of that game last night. Mike Moustakas is getting all kinds of praise heaped on him for the play he made falling over the railing on a pop foul. The truth of it is he badly misjudged it. And so he had to make a great play. It was a routine pop-up had he not misjudged it. He's standing there, had plenty of time to move back, but he didn't move back. And then when the ball comes down, he has to reach backward and throw himself off balance over the railing to make a circus catch, which, by the way, we give him credit for. When he hit the ground head first, he didn't drop it. When Lorenzo Cain hits the ground diving for balls, he doesn't drop them. When he hits the wall, he doesn't drop them. Those are great catches. The media here lavishes praise on Grichuk and Jay for almost good catches, even though they turned into hits because neither could hold the ball. Who's up first? I'm sorry, Owen. TA is up first. Welcome to the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court, TA. How are you this afternoon?
Hey, Kevin, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
You know, I've said over and over again that Carpenter used to bat third, and John Jay, I wouldn't even mind Warren. He's stole with 25, 30 bases in the minor leagues. I think that would be a much better batting order if you had Carpenter coming up with a million on base instead of him leading. No, I still haven't figured that one out. I just think it's a waste of a clutch hitter to have him batting first.
Yeah, I mean, look, let's be honest about it. Carpenter's your best hitter. It's not Matt Holliday. Carpenter's your best hitter. And who would you rather have up there with runners in scoring position, Matt Carpenter or anybody else on your team? Matt Carpenter. So he should be your third hitter.
And John Jay is hot right now, man. He's hitting a bunch of singles.
That's right. Bat him first. Lead him off. And
it's not rocket science. And then I was flabbergasted when I had Randy Cho out there. You tell me you would take Cho over Sam Freeman?
I would never take. Well, they're paying Choate a lot of money. Keep that in mind. But it doesn't matter. Then you keep three left-handers. You'll need three left-handers in the postseason, and the smart managers take three. But the key is I haven't seen Freeman bothered by right-handers. Freeman seems to get everybody out. Choate can only get a left-hander out, and then you keep your fingers crossed. But he can't get any right-handers out. So at best, he's a one-batter pitcher. You need a left-hander in the postseason that can cover a full inning. Gonzalez can do it. Freeman can do it. Choate cannot do it.
Because that's a concern I have, Kevin. In the playoffs, you're going to have a quick hook, so you need extra pitches. If Walker's on the roster, he should be pitching. He should be a viable option if you're going to have him on the roster. I don't understand why we're handicapping ourselves. Is he on the roster because of what he did last year?
Yeah, it makes you wonder, because if you're not going to use him, then that even limits you more. You're not going to use him. Now you're not because you need a safety blanket for Widow Tweva Wosenthal. You need a safety blanket. What is this? See?
I don't get it. Trevor Rosenthal, he's 23 years old. He'll get over not being the close. He's got plenty of time to get over it. Another thing, Kevin, real quick, the Rams. Did you see that debacle Monday night?
I did.
I'm
sorry that I did.
This defensive coordinator, Greg Williams, man, I wish they would ban him for at least 5 years so Fisher wouldn't have that option. He got rid of his defensive coach after 5 games last year, and they were not this bad. They had the worst sack rate in history of NFL keeping count on sacks for the first 5 games. 1 sack in 5 games, that's unheard of, man.
It is unheard of. But the best part is this. Before the season started, everybody said, the Rams are going to have such a great defense. I said, no, they're not. And anybody who knows anything about football wouldn't make that statement that they're going to have a great defense, because everybody should have known that their secondary was horrific last year, and it's not any better now. And Quinn was going to draw double teams, which he's drawing, and nobody else can get to the quarterback. So this is a bad defense. It's not even a good one. It's a very bad one. And any defense that has Janoris Jenkins on it is going to be susceptible to giving up big plays. This guy's a big play waiting to happen. He's a loudmouth. He talks a lot, but he doesn't make many plays.
I agree with you, Kevin. I don't know what Janoris Jenkins needs to do to get sat on the bench, man. 20 seconds left in the half, and you give up an 80-yard touchdown. If that's not bench, is that enough? I was shocked to see him come out the second. No way. I don't care. I would have brought Ray Armstrong back out of the stands and said, you cover it. You do a better job than Janoris Jenkins. Now, the coach,
I couldn't agree more with you. I mean, when you start sending a message to people like that, look, I don't care what defense he thought he was in. Laurinaitis says we got to play the defense that's called. I don't care what defense is called. You're a defensive back. You've reached the professional level. There are 15 seconds left in the half. You know better than to let a guy get behind you. You don't go play him tight. You give him some room.
You give him as much room as he wants, as long as you make the tackle. As long as you make the tackle. There's two plays in there. And then I'm going to say this in closing, Kevin. This offensive line has got to be the worst in NFL football, man. Didn't
this surprise you? Didn't this surprise you, TA, when this surprised me. I'm wondering if it surprised you. At the start of the game, all of a sudden it's announced that Greg Robinson is making his first start and that Trey Mason is making his first appearance. He's dressing out for the first time. And my first thought was, this is Fisher's way, since he knew it was Monday Night Football, national TV. He didn't want the rest of the country to know that he's so dumb that he took two guys in the draft, in the number 2 overall pick and then his early 3rd round pick, and neither one of them are playing. I don't think he wanted the rest of the country to know that, because Gruden would have been asking questions. So all of a sudden, just for this Monday night game, all of a sudden these two guys come out of nowhere and they're playing. And by the way, Robinson didn't do squat. Mason had a decent game, which tells me something else. Jeff Fisher is the worst evaluator of talent I've ever seen. Mason's much better after what we saw Monday night than any of his other running backs.
Let me say this, Kevin, in closing. You said and I said Sammy Watkins all day long before the draft. What is Sammy Watkins doing, and what is Robinson doing for us?
Thank you.
We got
exactly right.
We could have won that game against Philadelphia. Had Austin, the other Austin, not the quarterback, caught 2 passes, man. Catchable in the 4th quarter of that final drive, man. He cost us a game.
Among others. And where did Brian
Watkins, because Greg Robinson wasn't playing, so it's mad that Sammy Watkins running that route.
And where did Brian Quick disappear to Monday night? Where did Brian Quick disappear to Monday night? 1 catch against the 49ers. This is supposed to be your go-to guy. Of course, Fisher says, well, we don't try to get the ball to any certain receiver. Well, you better, because he's the only one on your team that can make a play. And then you've got these gigantic tight ends, Cook and Kendricks. You've got this big Brian Quick. You've got the great Kenny. But when I look at them, I don't know how the Rams lose. But then I remember who's coaching. And then I remember they have this fetish to get the ball, this obsession to get the ball to Austin Pettis, who isn't any good at all. No good. Thanks, TA. Appreciate the call. All right, Joe is up next. Welcome to the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. Joe, how are you?
Kevin, I'm doing pretty well. It's interesting that you mentioned Greg Robinson. And I said 2 days after the draft, I called the show and said, I was totally against Greg Robinson. I said the Rams should have drafted Sammy Watkins, and they could have got Zach Martin from Notre Dame at number 13. And I don't know if you saw that there's people thinking that he actually right now could be the offensive rookie of the year. If you watch the game against Seattle, Dallas is running right behind this kid, Kevin, and he's really good, and yet we get a guy that the only thing I saw him do was get bull rushed by Justin Smith on one play. But You know, Jeff Fisher says in the paper this morning, Kevin, that, you know, the team's still playing hard. Well, my response would be, aren't they supposed to be playing hard? Is that like something great that the team is playing hard and
it's like I've always said.
Enthusiastic at practice?
It's like I've always said.
Practice?
I don't ever want to hear another
We're talking
coach.
about practice, man.
Another coach or another manager tell me how hard they're playing, because nobody cares. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to play hard. That's not a attaboy, you're playing hard. Fisher actually went so far. This is how arrogant he is. He says the big thing is you don't change what you're doing. Now they're 1-4, coming off of 2 losing seasons. Now they're 1-4, but he says you don't change what you're doing. What we're doing here is right. Right? That's when he then added, the players are coming to work. They're having fun. They're working hard. They're losing, and they play like crap. So what do you mean you don't change things? Are you nuts?
Kiss my ass.
He says, we've played 3 good opponents and haven't done well enough to win the game. 3 good opponents. I hope you forgot about Minnesota. That's a bad team that came in here and cleaned your clock opening day in your own backyard. Tampa's a bad team, and you beat them in the last second in a game that had their receiver known the rules. You wouldn't have beaten them. But he doesn't want to change anything because what he's doing is right.
Well, here's a couple of things that really bother me, and you're absolutely right. He also says in the article that Janoris Jenkins was in the wrong coverage. He was supposed to be at a deep 6, whatever, played man-to-man. Well, my question would be, Jeff Fisher, why didn't you guys call timeout then? I mean, you have this veteran coaching staff. I'm sure didn't somebody notice he was in the wrong coverage? And then after the dummy was in the wrong coverage, by the way, he's played terrible all year long. Why didn't you bench his rear end? You know, that was one of the dumbest things. I mean, the longest pass play from scrimmage with less than 30 seconds go before the Rams get that. And of course, the 1 sack in the 5 games. And that's a record, too. Of course, the Rams called themselves Sack City before the season started. But the thing, Kevin, is it gets me. I don't want anybody in this town to give this clown a pass if they go 2-14 or 3-13 because they don't have Sam Bradford. Because you know what, Kevin? This ain't about Bradford. Jeff Fisher told everybody with Bradford, we're going to run the ball and play defense, Kevin. And they don't do either one. Thanks.
Thank you, Joe. No, they don't do either one. And Sam Bradford wasn't playing defensive back. Janoris Jenkins was. Sam Bradford didn't get beat like Janoris Jenkins by Des Bryant in the Dallas game, wide open for a long touchdown. I don't care, like I said earlier, what defense is called. A third-grade junior high school football player, senior high school, college, anybody knows with 15 seconds in the half, 80 yards from a score, you don't play a receiver tight. I don't care if you have coverage behind you. You don't. You give him room, let him catch it, and then tackle him. And the half's over. Fisher goes on to say about the offensive line, I thought there were some real good efforts. Efforts? Nobody cares about effort. This is the NFL. We did some good things against a good defensive front. Would you care to point it out to me? What good things?
What happened?
You didn't run the ball. You didn't run the ball. You didn't pass protect. Then he says our pass protection needs to improve. We let the pocket collapse at times. They do that to everybody. They do? The 49ers had 5 sacks Monday night, and really 6. They got 1 called back by a penalty that had nothing to do with the sack. So let's just be honest. They had 6 sacks. Do you know how many they had in their first 4 games combined? 5. So they don't do this to everybody. Not with Aldon Smith out, they don't. When he's playing and when Navarro Bowman's playing, yeah, then they do this to everybody. But they don't have those guys. And as a result, they haven't done it to anybody. But they did it to the Rams. So Fisher, he loves to lie. Then he talks about Austin Davis, he missed some throws, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so we all know that. Of course, he was running for his life most of the night. We all know that. He says, though, Fisher says this. This is a game you led 14-0. You also led Dallas 21-0. Both of those games were at home, and you lost them both with a huge assist from Janoris Jenkins, giving up an uncontested deep touchdown pass in each game. So you lose them both at home after having those big leads. And Fisher has the nerve to talk about this game Monday night and say, overall, there are a lot of good things in this game. Great effort. Some really, really outstanding outstanding individual efforts on individual plays. We have to take those positives and move forward. That's what you have to hang your hat on after 5 games. Somebody made a couple of good plays.
Kingfish, you don't love nobody.
Nope, I don't think so. Well, himself, he digs himself pretty much. I mean, I've noticed that. He digs himself. And he says, believe it or not, how the 49ers are resilient and they know how to come from behind, somebody said to him, and he acts like the Rams do. We were down 34-7 to the Eagles, and we recovered. So we made a good run in Philadelphia. The Eagles quit playing defense. You were down 34-7 in the second half. They played to prevent defense on you the rest of the way.
And didn't the Rams lose that game, Kevin?
And as I recall, the Rams didn't come back. They still lost the game by 6 points. How about this? Here's Fisher's reasoning that his team plays hard. All you need to do is look at the last extra point after we threw the interception for a touchdown. Just look at that. We almost blocked it. So Fisher's hanging his hat on almost blocking an extra point after you threw a pick 6 to lose by 14 points.
You could trust me for a warm glass of shut the hell up.
He's so delusional, it's scary. Look at that. That's how we play. We almost blocked an extra point.
Do you actually listen to yourself when you speak, or do you find you drift in and out?
I don't think he does. I don't even think he drifts in and out. I think he just says stuff. And, of course, that crack media outpost out there at Rams Park never challenges him on it. But we do. All right, we're going to take a break. The lines remain open, 399-8923. We're live at the Marshall Wireless Sprint store in St. Charles, right off of Mid-Rivers Mall Drive at Highway 94. Come on in and take advantage of the great specials on those iPhones. The iPhone for Life plan. You won't beat it, $70 a month for life with unlimited everything. Unlimited everything, and they'll pay your cancellation fee up to $350. It also includes the cost of your phone. You can't beat it. We're back in the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court right after this.
On the day I was born, the nurses all gathered round, and they gazed in wide wonder at the joy they had found. The head nurse spoke up.
It's time for the back-to-school buyback at Jim Butler Kia.
Oh, too much on your trade-in?
We'll buy it back, and you drive home a new Kia with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty and a low payment. Sign and drive with $0 out of pocket. $198 per month on 2015 Kia Optimas. $256 per month on 2015 Kia Serenos. Big selection, big savings, and it's all at the back-to-school buyback. Only at JimButlerKia.com. The only place to go for your next Kia. Leases 0 down, 0 security deposit, 0 first payment based on 39 months, 12,000 miles per year. Payments plus TTNL. Ends 9/2/14.
Big Daddy's on the Landing presents the 6th annual Boogeyman Cash Bash Halloween weekend. That's right, Halloween night and a special bounce back Saturday night party. Come down, drink, eat, party with the costume on both nights at Big Daddy's and get in one of our 3 contests per night. Best overall costume, sexiest ladies, and best group or couple. Contests start after 1 a.m., but get here early to avoid the lines. Check out BigDaddySTL.com for more info.
This is a beer ad for guys who like drinking beer with their buddies and watching football while drinking beer with their buddies at a bar while eating fried food and high-fiving. Ever high-five while eating fried food? We call it high-friving. Buddies and beer, football and fried food. But this is a beer ad for a different type of beer with a refreshing taste of apple. It's called Red's Apple Ale. You can still drink it with your buddies while watching football, or drink it while doing something a little different, like watching rugby or professional arm wrestling. Or if you're feeling really crazy, get some Red's Apple Ale and 2 TVs and watch rugby and arm wrestling at the same time. Because that's exactly what Red's is. A little different and anything but ordinary. Crisp like an apple, brewed like an ale. Red's Apple Ale. Pick different. Red's Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility.
You may not know about Forey's Restaurant and Bar, located at the corner of McKenzie and Higgy, one of the newest places in St. Louis for great food and televised sporting events. Forey's offers a full lunch and dinner menu featuring delicious appetizers salads, burgers, and pizza, as well as amazing pasta, steak, chicken, and seafood entrees. And don't forget about the Sunday breakfast buffet until 2 p.m. Happy hour all day, Monday through Friday until 6 p.m. and during all televised home games. Join Forey's tonight at 8025 McKenzie in Afton and visit Forey'sSTL.com.
Hello, this is Joe Cordell of the domestic litigation firm Cordell & Cordell. Tell me if this describes you. You're a man who's worked hard all your life. You have a nice house, a savings, a good retirement. But now there's just one problem. Your wife says she wants out. She says she wants a divorce. Suddenly, everything you've worked so hard for, it's all on the table. Your house, your pension, and most important, your kids. She says she feels terrible about the way things have turned out. She says she wants to be fair. Trust her, she says. May I suggest to you an alternative? Consider trusting instead the law firm Cordell & Cordell. You're facing one of the most pivotal, critical times in your life. It's at times like these that you need a partner you can count on.
Call the domestic litigation firm of Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's attorneys, a partner men can count on. 314-725-0000, 725 all zeros. Offices in St. Louis, St. Charles, Jefferson County, Edwardsville, Belleville, and Union by appointment only.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Dogtown Pizza is the freshest pizza in your local grocer's freezer aisle. All Dogtown Pizza sauce, crust, and cheese are 100% natural, and they use local ingredients from local suppliers. They also offer a full-service fundraising program dedicated to providing you with the best possible experience and achieving the results you desire. For more information, visit dogtownpizza.com. Who bakes the best pizza in St. Louis? You do. Dogtown Pizza, family owned and operated.
Please remove those hats. You're in the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court on 590 The Main.
And we welcome you back into the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. Kevin Slaten with you on 590 The Man and streaming live at TalkSTL.com. All you have to do is download the free app, and you can take us with you anywhere you go, even to Europe, if you so desire. They probably won't let you listen on the plane, though. Maybe they will. Give it a shot. We'll keep you going all the way over there, if for some reason you're going over there. I digress. We're live at the Marshall Wireless Sprint Store in St. Charles on Mid-Rivers Mall Drive, just off of Highway 94. Come on in and take advantage of the great iPhone for Life plan, $70 a month, unlimited everything. Includes the cost of your new phone. They'll pay your cancellation fee up to $350. You won't beat it anywhere. You can try, but you're wasting your time. I always love to stop folks from wasting their time. That would be a waste of your time. So don't do it. You can call us at 314-399-8923, 314-399-8923. What were your thoughts on the Cardinals and Matheny yesterday? And, of course, the Rams from Monday night. We didn't do our show yesterday because of the Cardinal game on at the same time, so we haven't talked about that Monday night debacle, and it is a debacle. But Jeff Fisher thinks that because they almost blocked an extra point at the end of the game after a pick six, that's evidence that his team just doesn't quit. Of course, he doesn't address the malaise that took place in between Brandon Lloyd's 80-yard touchdown and the end of the game when the Rams mustered a big whopping total of 3 points. So from the end of the first half to the end of the game, the Rams scored 3. They scored 28. But somehow he thinks that's indicative that the Rams just keep on playing hard because they almost blocked an extra point at the end. My guess is whoever almost blocked it took advantage of a 49er player who couldn't care less at that point. Game was over. All right, Billy's up first. Welcome to the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. Billy, how are you?
Good, Kevin. Carpe diem.
Carpe diem.
I want to thank you for validating something that I have texted to other shows today, and they have shot off. And all my friends that I made the comment to last night shot off. Granted, Choate's throw was deplorable. But if Colton Wong would have fielded properly, he would have caught that ball. Because as it is, it grazed off his glove.
I never got a good enough angle of the throw to see, at least I haven't seen a good enough angle. It may exist. I just didn't see it, whether he would have or not. But I know this. He had no chance because of his bad footwork, wrong foot on the bag, stretching, the foot that was on the bag way too far in the dugout side of the bag. Your foot's supposed to be on the infield edge of the base. It should be your right foot, and you'll learn that in Little League. That's where I learned it. And so if Colton Wong doesn't understand it yet, and by the way, in addition, he's not very tall, so it would behoove him to be fundamentally sound more than Matt Adams even. But I don't know. He may have been able to catch it, and I'm not excusing Choate's horrible throw. But what you've got here is a possibility, if you've got the proper footwork at play for you, that you could have deflected it and knocked it down even if you didn't catch it. And that would have saved the run. You'd be in a quagmire of bases loaded, nobody out, but at least you'd have a chance. But there was no chance once he had the improper footwork, and even with that improper footwork, his foot way too far to the dugout side of the bag. Now, you know it, I know it, and the friends of yours that you discussed it with and brought it up to simply are illiterate when it comes to baseball. I have friends the same way. The other radio shows in this town, you already know they're illiterate. They don't even know what you're talking about when you discuss footwork. They have no clue. But that was obvious immediately to me on the replay that his wrong foot was on the bag.
Well, one of them even had the point to say that he did have the right foot on the bag because he's left-handed, so his left foot goes on the bag. I needed to point out to a local sports personality that he is actually a right-handed fielding player who bats left-handed. His glove is on his left hand, which means you put your right hand and stretch out.
And by the way, it doesn't matter whether you're right or who said that to you. Can you mind telling us who's so illiterate that they thought Colton Wong was left-handed?
Not.
Oh my God!
It wasn't any of the fun people this morning. It was someone else.
So you're talking about some guy who's been given a job in this town behind a microphone who thinks that a major league team employs a left-handed fielding second baseman.
We argued because he argued with me that he actually played baseball. He did not say professionally, but he said he played 23 years of baseball. And
in his neighborhood.
Colton's momentum carried him that far to the bag, and that on a bunt play, that's how you field it. And I explained to him that with Matt Adams playing as far up as he was, anticipating the bunt, Colton Wong, if you watch the replay, ran to the bag and was standing on it when Choate picked up the ball with his left foot, smacked that in the middle of the bag. If he would have caught it, he might have got his ankle broken.
Yeah.
By the guy running and stepping on his foot.
Yeah. His foot was so far in the wrong place and the wrong foot to boot, and any moron who tells you differently doesn't know anything about baseball.
Well, it doesn't help the guy's 5'1", but if he's standing on the bag and he has to jump and leap across his body, and again, that's what I was telling him. It's fundamentals. I can understand, and I'll give him the benefit of the doubt that he never plays first base, and that his natural progression when he's touching second base is to step on it with his left so he can throw with his right. But this guy's telling me that they don't do fundamental drills to cover plays at first base like that, which I find idiotic. But seeing what we're seeing, he may be right.
And let me point out too that it's not his left foot that he's used to pivoting with at second base. He's touching second base on a double play ball with his right foot. So it's always
but if he's coming, maybe a shortstop.
Yeah, but in the second baseman's case, it's always going to be the right foot that's going to tag the bag. So there's no confusion. And if they don't practice those things, and like you said, there is some evidence that they don't, it really doesn't matter. You and I learned when we played Little League ball that that's how your footwork is supposed to work at first base. So it doesn't matter if you regularly play first base or not. Any ball player knows it. I was talking to a friend of mine who was a former major league pitcher last night, and we were both laughing about it. I mean, he's a pitcher. He knows. So he doesn't play first base. So why doesn't Colton Wong know?
Well, my 8-year-old, I showed my 8-year-old the replay and asked him what he thought about it. And he said the same thing. He goes, "Oh, my God, that throw was terrible, but why was that guy standing on the bag?" So my 8-year-old knew. Thanks, Kevin. Have a good day.
Appreciate the call. Yeah, I think anybody who knows baseball knows, but of course, those are the kind of irresponsible people that get behind a microphone in this town. It's sad. It's very sad that someone allows that, but that's St. Louis for you. Clearly wrong foot. Clearly way too far to the dugout side, whether it's the right foot or not. And I don't know if it would have made a difference. But he had no chance to catch a throw that wasn't right in his gut the way he handled it at first base. And had the throw been on target, he probably would have broken his ankle because the runner was going to step right on it. Your foot's in the middle of the bag? Are you nuts? 399-8923, that's the number if you want to weigh in. Our good friends in Window World, all you have to do is look outside and see the torrential rain we've had the last few days. And so if your windows are leaking, and if they're leaking warm air out of your house with this cooler weather, you better call them. They're the original $189 window guys, 314-993-1800. 314-993-1800. That gets you a free in-home estimate. Company that was just voted number one by J.D. Power and Associates for the second year in a row, and that doesn't happen in this industry, but it did for Window World. They get an A+ from the Better Business Bureau and Angie's List to hang on their resume as well. 5 years in a row, they've sold over 1 million windows nationwide to lead the industry. It's quite a resume. Over 40,000 homes in our area have improved their look and thermal efficiency thanks to Window World. Any size, white vinyl, double-hung windows, just $189. And with that great resume, they're still going to give you a lifetime warranty that covers all parts, glass breakage, and labor. They use double-strength glass. That's how they can do that. I've stood on those windows on the showroom floor. Couldn't crack them, crease them, break them, damage them, dent them in any way. And I tried. They'll also give you 12 months free financing, same as cash with approved credit. Window World, 314-993-1800. All right, we're back at the Marshall Wireless Sprint Store in St. Charles on Mid-Rivers Mall Drive, right off of Highway 94, with more of the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court right after this.
In the sports world, a good offense starts with a good defense. The professionals at Lakeside Roofing believe in this same motto for your roof. Our full-time service department provides the defense to ensure that you get the most out of your roof system. A regular schedule of roof assessment and maintenance will ensure that your roof will hold up to harsh environment, particularly spring wind and hail, as well as the overall aging process. Included in the inspection is a personalized preventive maintenance program specific to your roof system. This defensive strategy can extend the life of your commercial or residential roof for many years. Choose the winning team of professionals at Lakeside Roofing. We're a family-owned business that has built a solid reputation for excellent service from the initial call to the completed job. Call us today at 618-344-2800 or 314-241-5253 or visit us on the web at lakesideroofing.com. That's lakesideroofing.com. Choose experience. Choose Lakeside.
City Vapor is the premier St. Louis vapor and e-cig shop located at 7146 Villanova Plaza across from Mackenzie Point. City Vapor also offers a full vapor lounge with an e-juice vapor bar. From the full stock of vape pens and tanks to custom-built mods, the friendly and knowledgeable staff at City Vapor will provide you with a full consultation and help you find what is right for you. Give them a call at 314-752-4502 or visit cityvaporstl.com. You may not know about Forey's Restaurant and Bar, located at the corner of Mackenzie and Higgy, one of the newest places in St. Louis for great food and televised sporting events. Forey's offers a full lunch and dinner menu featuring delicious appetizers, salads, burgers, and pizza, as well as amazing pasta, steak, chicken, and seafood entrees. And don't forget about the Sunday breakfast buffet until 2 p.m. Happy hour all day, Monday through Friday until 6 p.m. and during all televised home games. Join Forey's tonight at 8025 Mackenzie in Afton and visit Forey'sSTL.com.
This Saturday, October 18th and Sunday the 19th, come dream and look around the giant flea market while finding your treasures at the Belclaire Expo Center, 200 South Bell East in Belleville. The best flea market anywhere. You name the item and it's probably there. So come find it, whatever it might be, at the Belclaire Expo Center this weekend. This is a can't-miss event at the Belclaire Expo Center this Saturday and Sunday. Treasures await you.
We all know the economy is not what it should be. Jobs are scarce and money is not easy to come by. That is why it is now more important than ever to patronize our locally owned and operated businesses. Hello, I'm Karen Cutis. Keeping St. Louis money in St. Louis is a definite way of helping ensure local employment and making our economy strong. Cutis Funeral Home is such a business. We are locally owned and operated and have proudly served our area since 1910. Cutis Funeral Home employs over 100 St. Louisans, with all funds remaining in our area. Many funeral homes are owned and operated by out-of-town conglomerates, taking money out of our area to support their home offices and salaries. Helping to patronize our area businesses can help keep jobs here in St. Louis. Cutis Funeral Home, part of St. Louis with affordability and dignity since 1910.
Locally owned and operated Cutis Funeral Homes with 3 locations, South City, Afton, and South County.
I'm Peyton Manning, and I joined Nationwide because they put members first. And what's important to you is important to them.
What about my car?
Yep.
My retirement?
Uh-huh.
Our house?
Definitely. Protecting what you care about. Just another way Nationwide does it right. Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates, Columbus, Ohio. Paid spokesperson, subject to underwriting guidelines and scales and availability vary.
To get your Nationwide insurance quote, text the word car quote to 51660.
Miller invented light beer, the original light Pilsner, and that changed everything. This led to people wondering L-I-T-E, that's how you spell light, which led to people thumbing through their dictionaries, which led to there's got to be a better way to look up words, which led to the invention of spell check, which led to better resumes, promotions, celebrations, and happy hour. Miller Lite, we invented light beer and happy hour. You're welcome. 12 ounces contain 96 calories, 3.2 carbs, 1 protein, 0 fat. Great beer, great responsibility. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Now, all rise. You're in the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court on 590 The Man.
And we welcome you back into the Marshall Wireless Sprint Store in St. Charles. Kevin Slaten with you in the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court on 590 The Man and streaming live at talkstl.com. Right here on the Mid-Rivers Mall Drive, just down from Highway 94. Don't forget you can take advantage of all the great deals that Marshall Wireless is offering, but especially that iPhone for Life plan. They've got the new iPhones in stock here. Get yours with unlimited everything for $70 a month for life. That includes the cost of your new phone, and they'll pay your cancellation fee elsewhere up to $350. Wow. Doesn't get any better than that. All right, Dave is up first. Dave, welcome to the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court.
Hey, how you doing, Kevin? Thanks for taking my call.
I'm doing well, Dave. How about you?
I'm okay. I'm a disgruntled Cardinal fan right now. But one thing I don't understand why Matheny gave Lackey the hook yesterday when he was cruising. And he was only, like you were saying, he was only up to, 80 pitches maybe? But yeah, he'll let Adam Wainwright sit there and just struggle and not even barely get 5 innings. I don't understand that.
No, there is no reasoning for it. Of course, nobody that's supposedly covering this series out in San Francisco, I guess, dared ask Matheny about that. But why you would take Lackey out in that situation is beyond me. It's not that you don't trust Lackey. I'm sure Lackey had some choice words for Matheny because there's no reason for him to come out of that game. And if you don't do that, that was the first of the domino effect.
The bottom of the lineup was coming up.
Yeah, that was the first of the domino effect. Lackey cruising, you take him out when you shouldn't take him out. Now everything else falls out of place for Matheny, and every decision after that is compounded by that stupid move. And you're right about Wainwright. Oh, yeah. And by the way, Wainwright should not even pitch a Game 5. He should not be the starter. It should be Waka. You should have gotten Waka ready after you saw Wainwright in Game 1 and saw him in game 1 against the Dodgers. That should have been enough. You shouldn't need to see any more.
Well, it seems like Matheny's repeating what he did last year, because last year he had Shelby Miller on the roster, but he never saw the field, maybe one batter, one inning. But here he goes again, bringing another guy. You're wasting a position on that team if you're not going to use them.
Well, last year he wasted 2 spots, Shelby Miller's and Mujica's. If you remember, he had booted Mujica out of the closer role, and then he wouldn't pitch him. Why have him on the roster? And if you're not going to pitch Waka, and now you're not going to pitch Martinez, I suppose, because he's your insurance for poor little Trevor Rosenthal. If Trevor Rosenthal needs somebody to hold his hand, he shouldn't be your closer. He's out there. He's the guy. If you think he's the guy, then pitch him. But if you don't think he's the guy, then put him back in his 8th inning role, which he excelled at. And if it were me, Martinez would be my closer.
Well,
or even Neshek.
I just don't understand. You've got a thin bullpen by his way of thinking, but yet he won't get as much as he can out of his starter, who, like I say, was cruising. He was dealing. And
there was no reason. There was no reason to bring Gonzalez in when he did, and there was no reason to pitch Manus just 1 inning. Manus could have thrown 2 innings had you double switched when you brought him in, but you didn't. And so Matheny, who's so fond of the double switch, it's like a Christmas present for him under the tree, decides at the worst possible time that he won't double switch, and that costs him another pitcher.
Oh.
So he did everything wrong. You want a blueprint of how not to manage at any level? He gave it to you yesterday.
Oh, I agree 100%. And hopefully, despite of Matheny's moves, these guys can pull it out. But we'll see. Hey,
well,
thanks for taking my call. You got a good show going.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the call, Billy. Thank you. Tonight's the night. If the Cardinals lose this game, of course, it's as good as over. I don't think it'll come back to St. Louis. I don't think Madison Bumgarner is going to lose to the Cardinals. So this is the one tonight. If you talk about must-wins, this is a must-win. You have to look at the series this way. Can the Cardinals take 3 out of 4 against the Giants with 2 of them being played in San Francisco? The odds would tell you no, but people defy odds all the time. It'll start with tonight. Stanley's up next. Welcome, Stanley. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks, Kevin. How you doing this afternoon?
Doing well.
Good. Hey, listen, I agree with what you guys were just talking about. I'm not real sure about what is the role of Michael Wacha now? I mean, if he's not going to be, I thought in game 1 of the Dodgers series when Wainwright got lit up like a Christmas tree and was down 6-1, you needed a guy to eat up that 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th inning. I thought that would be a perfect spot for him. Well, he didn't use him then. And then last night, you're going into extra innings. It was almost as if Matheny was managing like the Cardinals were up by 4 runs. I mean, Randy Choate, they put him on the roster. And, I thought when they put him on the roster in the first series against the Dodgers, it was for one reason and one reason only, and that was to get Adrian Gonzalez out. Now, in game 1, we seen when the Cardinals had a 3-run lead, he comes in, pitches to Gonzalez, gives up a 2-run home run. So, he didn't have I just can't understand losing a game with Randy Choate on the mound when you have guys in the bullpen that have stuff, that have balls that move, that can strike guys out, that can get out of jams. He's a one batter kind of guy, the lefty matchup guy, and I just don't understand Matheny's thinking. What is Wacha's role then? If he's not a extra inning guy, if he's not a guy that comes in when your starter's getting lit up in the 3rd inning, then what the hell is he on the team for, taking up a roster spot? It makes absolutely no sense. And the other thing, Kevin, I didn't get to hear you talk about it. I'm sure you did, but that move in the other night in game 2. I think it was the 3rd inning with runners at 1st and 2nd, nobody out, and he had Molina laid out a sacrifice bunt, like it was the bottom of the 8th or the bottom of the 9th. And I just, for the life of me, I seen in the paper where they said Molina had sacrificed 1 time all year long, and I just cannot understand for the life of me why would you play for 1 run when you're in the 3rd inning and winning 1-0. But I'll hang up and listen. Thanks, Kevin.
Thanks, Stanley. Appreciate it. No, we did talk about the Molina sacrifice bunt. That was idiotic as well. Absolutely idiotic. And for anybody who thinks that Molina laid down a bunt because he had injured his oblique at that time, that's not true, because on the final swing that he took, there were men on base as well with less than 2 out, and he didn't bunt that time. So it wasn't because his oblique hurt him. It was because Matheny wanted him to sacrifice. I mean, it's idiocracy at its highest level. So, that's why you don't win. Now, sometimes they win in spite of him, but I don't think they'll win in spite of him in this series. And I said so at the beginning of the series. Giants have the Cardinals number. I stand by that. Cardinals have the Dodgers number. Cardinals have the Nationals number. But unfortunately, they have to play the Giants. Hey, our good friends at Stumpy's House of Barbecues tell you this. It's cold out. You don't want to barbecue at your house tonight. You don't want to cook. Cardinals come on at 7 o'clock. You want to be all ready for the game tonight. So why not stop in at Stumpy's House of Barbecue? They're in St. Peter's at 620 Jungerman Road, 636-441-7222. Now, you can dine in. You can bring the whole family in. You can get a carry-out, or they'll deliver, and it's Wednesday. So it's 99-cent rib night. Imagine all the ribs you can buy for the whole family, for that matter, the whole neighborhood. Have everybody over to your house to watch the game, and you won't go broke because 99-cent rib night is tonight at Stumpy's House of Barbecue, where all the barbecue is hickory smoked and slow cooked. Throw in those smoked chicken wings as an appetizer to go with your phenomenal ribs for 99 cents. Great salads, 3 distinctively different sauces. They have great barbecue sandwiches, barbecue plates. You can buy it by the pound. You can buy chicken by the half chicken or whole chicken, ice cold beer. But 99-cent rib night at Stumpy's House of Barbecue, finest barbecue I've had in town. In St. Peter's, 620 Jungerman Road, 636-441-7222. Makes me hungry just thinking about it. All right, we'll be back with more of the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court from the Marshall Wireless Sprint Store in St. Charles, Highway 94 and Mid-Rivers Mall Drive. Come on out and see us, and we'll be right back with more after this.
St. Louis is all about sports, and locally owned and operated Culpepper's Grill and Bar is the best place to watch our sports teams. In addition to great food and fabulous drink specials, Culpepper's is hosting free weekly football pools for all Rams and Mizzou football games. For the Rams, come in and put your business card on the board and claim your square to win Culpepper's gift cards at the end of every quarter. For you Mizzou fans, just ask the bartender to be entered in the pool ahead of each week's game. But that's not all. Culpepper's wants to make winners out of Cardinals fans. Get all your friends together to watch all the postseason games at Culpepper's because each location picks a gift card winner every time the Cardinals score. Want to know more? Follow Culpepper's on Facebook for the latest details, updates on the football pools, and to see winners like yourself having fun. This season, be a fan of Culpepper's.
Watch the Cardinals in the playoffs at Culpepper's and enter for a chance to win Culpepper's gift cards every time they score. Plus, claim your square for this week's Rams football pool.
I'm Peyton Manning, and I joined Nationwide because they put members first. And what's important to you is important to them.
What about my car?
Yep.
My retirement?
Uh-huh.
Our house?
Definitely. Protecting what you care about. Just another way Nationwide does it right. Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates, Columbus, Ohio. Paid spokesperson, subject to underwriting guidelines. Sales and availability vary.
To get your nationwide insurance quote, text the word car quote to 51660.
Dogtown Pizza is the freshest pizza in your local grocer's freezer aisle. All Dogtown Pizza sauce, crust, and cheese are 100% natural, and they use local ingredients from local suppliers. They also offer a full-service fundraising program dedicated to providing you with the best possible experience and achieving the results you desire. For more information, visit dogtownpizza.com. Who bakes the best pizza in St. Louis? You do. Dogtown Pizza, family-owned and operated.
590 KFNS, Wood River, St. Louis. Sports Talk Radio.
You may not know about Forey's Restaurant and Bar, located at the corner of McKenzie and Higgy, one of the newest places in St. Louis for great food and televised sporting events. Forey's offers a full lunch and dinner menu featuring delicious appetizers, salads, burgers, and pizza, as well as amazing pasta, steak, chicken, and seafood entrees. And don't forget about the Sunday breakfast buffet until 2 p.m. Happy hour all day, Monday through Friday until 6 p.m. and during all televised home games. Join Forey's tonight at 8025 McKenzie in Afton and visit Forey'sSTL.com.
Big Daddy's on the Landing presents the 6th annual Boogeyman Cash Bash Halloween weekend. That's right, Halloween night and a special bounce back Saturday night party. Come down, drink, eat, party with the costume on both nights at Big Daddy's and get in one of our 3 contests per night. best overall costume, sexiest ladies, and best group or couple. Contests start after 1 a.m., but get here early to avoid the lines. Check out BigDaddySTL.com for more info.
We all know the economy is not what it should be. Jobs are scarce and money is not easy to come by. That is why it is now more important than ever to patronize our locally owned and operated businesses. Hello, I'm Karen Cutis. Keeping St. Louis money in St. Louis is a definite way of helping ensure local employment and making our economy strong. Cutis Funeral Home is such a business. We are locally owned and operated and have proudly served our area since 1910. Cutis Funeral Home employs over 100 St. Louisans, with all funds remaining in our area. Many funeral homes are owned and operated by out-of-town conglomerates, taking money out of our area to support their home offices and salaries. Helping to patronize our area businesses can help keep jobs here in St. Louis. Cutis Funeral Home, part of St. Louis with affordability and dignity since 1910.
Locally owned and operated Cutis Funeral Homes with 3 locations, South City, Afton, and South County.
Miller invented light beer, the original light Pilsner, and that changed everything. This led to people wondering L-I-T-E, that's how you spell light, which led to people thumbing through their dictionaries, which led to there's got to be a better way to look up words, which led to the invention of spell check, which led to better resumes, promotions, celebrations, and happy hour. Miller Lite, we invented light beer and happy hour. You're welcome. 12 ounces contain 96 calories, 3.2 carbs, 1 protein, 0 fat. Great beer, great responsibility. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
This Saturday, October 18th and Sunday the 19th, come dream and look around the giant flea market while finding your treasures at the Belle Claire Expo Center, 200 South Bell East in Belleville. The best flea market anywhere. You name the item and it's probably there. So come find it, whatever it might be, at the Belle Claire Expo Center this weekend. This is a can't miss event at the Belle Claire Expo Center this Saturday and Sunday. Treasures await you.
Sit up straight. You're in the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court on 590 The Man.
And we welcome you back into the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. We are live on 590 The Man, streaming live at talkstl.com. And we're at the Marshall Wireless Sprint store in St. Charles. We're right off of Highway 94 at Mid-Rivers Mall Drive. Hey, you know, I've been telling folks that the rain damage, the wind damage to your roof, the next 45 days are critical because once the calendar flips to the new year, insurance companies will look at roof damage a little differently from 2014 once you're in the new year. So they're going to change their stipulations on what they consider damage. It's going to be harder to get your new roof approved. So that's why you need to call Zycan Exteriors. Our friends at Zycan Exteriors, 636-345-6873, 345-6873. I'm not telling you to do anything I didn't do. I called Zycan Exteriors. I couldn't be happier with the job they did for me. They meet with the insurance adjuster at your house. They go up on the roof with them. And when they came down, I had a full roof replacement. Now, a lot of times, the insurance company is going to be quick to just give you a partial replacement. That's why you need the storm damage experts, Zycan Exteriors, who will give you a free damage inspection. All you have to do is call. You've got nothing to lose. Now, a lot of insurance companies are raising deductibles on your roof. They'll keep your house the same, but your roof will go up, especially with all this storm damage. So be aware that they're doing that, and many people aren't even aware that it's happening. Another reason to get it taken care of now, 636-345-6873. They use all upgraded Owens Corning shingles at Zycan Exteriors. And hard with the hail and everything. But wind damage, wherever you live, mine was wind damage. It wasn't hail damage. And take it from me, if someone in your neighborhood has some damage, chances are so do you. But all you have to do to avoid that problem is call right now for free, a free inspection from Zycan Exteriors, 636-345-6873. We had one person who was turned down twice by his insurance company, called Zycan Exteriors. They went out, met the adjuster, full roof replacement. When no one else can, Zycan, locally owned, A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. I love supporting locally owned businesses. right, if you want to join the show, it's 399-8923, 314-399-8923. Talk a lot about the Cardinals and certainly about the Rams. I said earlier in the show that the Royals game last night, again, a display of great defense, though Mike Moustakas' catch, as great as it was necessitated by his misjudging that pop foul. If you watch the replay, he wasn't reaching toward the stands. He was reaching behind himself and at an awkward angle and therefore fell over the railing after he misjudged the pop-up. It necessitated a great play. Missouri plays at Florida on Saturday. That's I think, going to be an ugly result for Missouri. Jameis Winston is in trouble time after time after time. We'll get into more of that and what Bo Jackson had to say about him. And it wasn't good. It wasn't good. Ed is up first. Welcome to the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. Ed, how are you today? Hello, Ed. Oh, we lost him. All right, Ed, you can give us a call back, 399-8923, 399-8923. And this Jurgen Klinsmann just continues to get himself in trouble with his mouth. He's the coach of the U.S. national team, which blew another lead in a friendly the other night and ended up in a tie. But he was critical of the Major League Soccer by saying, basically, that players' careers are damaged by returning to that league as opposed to playing for European clubs. Klinsmann said it's very difficult for them to keep the same level that they experienced at the places where they were, meaning the World Cup and that type of thing. Don Garber, the commissioner of Major League Soccer, was so incensed that he held a conference call with reporters today. And he said the remarks are incredibly damaging to our league and personally infuriating. To think we're not aligned with our national team coach is disappointing and personally infuriating and frustrating as hell, Garber said. Frankly, I don't think it's in line with the shared vision that this league has with the U.S. Soccer Federation. Without this league, U.S. player pool would be diminished. It's just patently untrue that if you play in Major League Soccer, it will affect your form. I don't know what's wrong with this Klinsmann character, but his mouth gets him in more trouble than anybody I've ever seen. I don't get it. There's no reason for that kind of thing. Zero, none. 399-8923 if you want to weigh in on any of these topics. Bo Jackson weighed in on Jameis Winston today. He was on a radio show, and he said that Jameis Winston has ignored his advice. He says, I really don't know who's giving this young man guidance. I've communicated with him, and I just talked to him like I was his dad, the things that you need to do. And this was before the incident where he was suspended from the baseball team. That was for stealing crab legs. I'm the type of person, I'll go out of my way to help anybody. Normally, I don't like giving people advice if I haven't been down that road myself. But if I give you advice on something that I know more about than you by just falling out of bed in the morning, if you can't take that advice and learn from it, then I've got nothing else to do with the situation. You're on your own. Strong words from one Heisman Trophy winner to another. And Jameis Winston has the bemused look on his face like a guy who's looking at a deer in the headlights. It's just not, it's insanity. All right, who's up? I'm sorry, Owen. Hello, Owen.
Hello.
Chris is up.
Yeah,
Hello.
Kevin? Okay.
Hello.
Thanks
Go
for
ahead.
taking my call. You know, I just got you telling my friend the same thing you just got you telling about the Cardinals playing the Giants. The Giants got their number. I mean, I don't see how. I kind of thought that, you know, this year with the Cardinals having a lot of young players, they might get over the hump. But I just can't see it. And with McThaney, dumb mistakes he be making, and not. I just think the Cardinals are just going to me. Can I ask you one more question?
Sure.
What do you think about Jake Long? I mean, do you think he's kind of like hampering the Rams at that offensive line? I mean, they should just go and play the rookies and get it over with.
I'm sorry, you broke up a little, Chris. Who do I think about who? Owen, can you hear that? I can't hear it.
Jake Long.
Right. Jay who?
Jake Long. I was talking about Jake Long.
Oh, Jake Long. What do I think of Jake Long?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think Jake Long. I think
he's
Jake
playing
Long
bad
is
this
miserable.
year, man. You know, he's playing real bad.
He's miserable.
They
I mean,
need to
he's
cut
got
him.
he got Bradford hurt in the preseason, and now Davis has to duck every time Jake Long's on the field. And now with Greg Robinson over there, you've got two guys who can't block anybody. So Jake Long is finished. That's another waste of a free agent by Fisher. $37.5 million wasted. Cortland Finnegan was a $50 million wasted. It looks to me like Jared Cook is wasted and Kenny Britt is wasted, although Britt wasn't much more than a couple of million. But 30-some-odd million for Jared Cook, $50 million for Cortland Finnegan. Here's a quick piece of advice. Quit going to the Tennessee Titans junk pile and taking rejects from them.
Okay, I'm breaking up, Kevin. Thanks for taking my call.
All right, Chris, thank you. But, yeah, I mean, can you sign a free agent from another team other than Tennessee? Last time Tennessee was relevant. If Tennessee's rejecting players, what do you want with them? It blows me away, though, that the Rams have the kind of size they have with their two tight ends, Quick and Britt, and they still can't win games. It looks so easy when you see that size differential, but they have no idea how to get them the ball. That's obvious. Who's next? I'm sorry. Oh, and who's next? Nope, I think we lost him. Greg's next. Okay, we're cutting out. Greg is up next. Hello, Greg. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Kevin. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Yeah, for all these politically correct people in the world today, doing a little research on the Redskins, and actually they said the logo was designed by a Native American from the state of Montana, the logo.
I'm sorry, Greg, you cut out. What logo are you talking about?
Yeah, the Redskins logo was created by a Native American from the state of Montana.
Yeah. I'm in total agreement with keeping the Redskins name. You probably already know my position on that.
Yeah, and one other thing, if you can hear me, I got a bad connection. I apologize, but the term Redskins was actually first used by the Native Americans as an exclusive expression of solidarity by multi-tribal organizations to travel to D.C. to negotiate national policies towards future Native Americans. And, the majority, like you say, they have no problem with the term Redskins at all.
No, they don't. And it's embarrassing that politicians and the like decide that they'll stick their nose into something that's none of their business. It's the business of a business, and that business is the Washington Redskins, and it's no one else's business. And the NFL has blessed it, so it will remain. And my advice to people is do something constructive with your life as opposed to worrying about what a professional football team's nickname is.
Couldn't agree more. Hey, thanks again for the time, Kevin.
Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate the call. Hey, our good friends over at Chuck's Boots want you to be aware that we have the two largest boot stores in the world. They're Chuck's Boots, and they're right here in our town. One is on Gravois in Fenton, the other on Mid-River Small Drive, just down the street from where we are today in St. Peter's, right at Highway 70. Each store has between 40,000 and 50,000 pairs of boots, every kind of boot you could want, every style, every brand name. But they also have women's fashion jeans. They have all the top names, brands like Miss Me, Rock Revival, Silver Jean Company. But at Chuck's Boots, they guarantee you the lowest prices in women's fashion jeans. And they have thousands of pairs in stock. Thousands of pairs means you'll be able to find your size. Not like the department stores or the jean stores where you have to scramble to find your size. Nope, Chuck's Boots has thousands in stock. They have work boots, Western boots, motorcycle boots, uniform boots, hiking boots, and all the great accessories. Work jackets, work bibs, work pants, work shirts. They have the largest selection of motorcycle bags, chaps, vests, jackets, and helmets in our town. How about over 10,000 pairs of women's cowboy boots alone? All the exotic brands. I have some black alligator boots from the Western boot section of Chuck's Boots. And they have Western shirts, jeans, hats, belts, jewelry. Chuck's Boots, the two largest boot stores in the world, one in Fenton on Gravois, the other in St. Peter's on Mid-Rivers Mall Drive, just off of Highway 70. All right, we'll take a break from the Marshall Wireless Sprint store in St. Charles, and we'll come right back in the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court right after this.
You may not know about Forey's Restaurant and Bar, located at the corner of McKenzie and Higgy, one of the newest places in St. Louis for great food and televised sporting events. Forey's offers a full lunch and dinner menu featuring delicious appetizers, salads, burgers, and pizza, as well as amazing pasta, steak, chicken, and seafood entrees. And don't forget about the Sunday breakfast buffet until 2 p.m. Happy hour all day, Monday through Friday until 6 p.m. and during all televised home games. Join Forey's tonight at 8025 McKenzie in Afton and visit Forey'sSTL.com.
More and more people are setting up prearranged funerals. I'm Kim Cutis for Cutis Funeral Home. The advantages of a Cutis prearranged funeral are many. Not only does it take that burden off your family, but it assures every aspect is taken care of. The Cutis prearrangement is done exactly as you want it. The price is frozen, and there are never additional costs or fees. Talk to me personally, Kim Cutis, or any of our professionals. There is never an obligation. Cutis Funeral Homes. Affordability with dignity since 1910.
It's time for the back-to-school buyback at Jim Butler Kia.
Oh, too much on your trade-in?
We'll buy it back, and you drive home a new Kia with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty and a low payment. Sign and drive with $0 out of pocket. $198 per month on 2015 Kia Optimus. $256 per month on 2015 Kia Serenos. Big selection, big savings, and it's all at the back-to-school buyback. Only at JimButlerKia.com. The only place to go for your next Kia. Lease is 0 down, 0 security deposit, 0 first payment based on 39 months, 12,000 miles per year. Payments plus TTNL. Ends 9/2/14.
In the sports world, a good offense starts with a good defense. The professionals at Lakeside Roofing believe in this same motto for your roof. Our full-time service department provides the defense to ensure that you get the most out of your roof system. A regular schedule of roof assessment and maintenance will ensure that your roof will hold up to harsh environment, particularly spring wind and hail, as well as the overall aging process. Included in the inspection is a personalized preventive maintenance program specific to your roof system. This defensive strategy can extend the life of your commercial or residential roof for many years. Choose the winning team of professionals at Lakeside Roofing. We're a family-owned business that has built a solid reputation for excellent service from the initial call to the completed job. Call us today at 618-344-2800 or 314-241-5253 or visit us on the web at lakesideroofing.com. That's lakesideroofing.com. Choose experience. Choose Lakeside.
Divorce is a serious thing. To the extent that you can save your marriage, you should. No one knows that better than the attorneys at Cordell & Cordell.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
As many of you know, we represent men in domestic relations cases. And most of our clients are captive to a process they didn't choose. If they could have, they would have saved their marriage. But their wives told them they want out. Suddenly at issue are the assets they've been a lifetime accumulating. What's more important, their role in their children's lives. If you're confronted with a marriage you can't save, we hope that you'll consider Cordell & Cordell.
The attorneys at Cordell & Cordell work to help men maximize their role in their children's lives, which includes protecting men's financial means to do so. Call the domestic litigation firm of Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's attorneys, a partner men can count on. 314-725-0000, 725 all zeros. Offices in St. Louis, St. Charles, Jefferson County, Edwardsville, Belleville, and Union by appointment only.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision that should not be based solely upon advertisement.
This is a beer ad for guys who like drinking beer with their buddies and watching football while drinking beer with their buddies at a bar while eating fried food and high-fiving. Ever high-five while eating fried food? We call it high-friving. Buddies and beer, football and fried food. But this is a beer ad for a different type of beer with a refreshing taste of apple. It's called Red's Apple Ale. You can still drink it with your buddies while watching football or drink it while doing something a little different, like watching rugby or professional arm wrestling. Or if you're feeling really crazy, get some Red's Apple Ale and 2 TVs and watch rugby and arm wrestling at the same time. Because that's exactly what Red's is. A little different and anything anything but ordinary. Crisp like an apple, brewed like an ale. Red's Apple Ale. Pick different. Red's Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility.
This is the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court on 590 The Man.
And we welcome you back in. This is the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court, live on 590 The Man and streaming live at talkstl.com. Talkstl.com. Download that free app. You can take us with you on your phone anywhere. We're at the Marshall Wireless Sprint store in St. Charles, Highway 94 and Mid-Rivers Mall Drive, where they have that fantastic iPhone plan for life. You can only get it here. They have plenty of iPhones in stock for you. $70 a month for life. Unlimited everything. And that includes the cost of your new phone. And they'll even pay your cancellation fee up to $350. Only at Marshall Wireless Sprint. 16 stores around our area. We're here at the one in St. Charles on Highway 94 and Mid-Rivers Mall Drive today in the Deerbergs Plaza. So come on by and say hello. Our phone lines are open for you, 314-399-8923. 399-8923. We've discussed in detail the mistakes of Mike Matheny, and they are several. So many of them, they're hard to keep track of. And yes, just in yesterday's game alone. In addition, we've discussed, and I doubt anybody else has, the horrible footwork by Colton Wong on the Choate Wild throw yesterday. Wrong foot on the bag, thereby preventing him from stretching to the maximum level to get to that ball and maybe knock it down. In addition, not only was the wrong foot on the bag, but it was way too far to the dugout side. Your right foot is on the bag. You push the stretch off with that, and you can stretch further. His left foot was on the bag. He had to therefore reach across his body, and his left foot was across the bag almost to the dugout side. Just a horrible display of fundamental defense by Colton Wong. His defense is lacking. Let's be honest about it. So is Matt Carpenter's. Obviously, so is Randy Choate's. So is Randall Grichuk's. So the Cardinals' defense is, of course, letting them down. I hear a lot of sheeple out there today saying the Giants are lucky. Lucky? Lucky? I mean, I think the Cardinals' luck has about run out maybe, but they've had a lot of it. And good teams make their own luck. You know, a lot of times that's the way it works. Think about this. Since the Giants began winning the World Series in 2010, they won in 2012, and they look like they're going back again this year. They've played 14 of their postseason games. They've had 39 postseason games. 14 of them have been decided by one run. And you know what their record is in those one-run games? 12-2. Now, that's why they've won 2 World Series and perhaps are going for a third. You don't win 12 out of 14 one-run games because you're lucky. You might have a lucky one in there here or there. They won yesterday because they executed when they had to, and the Cardinals did not. Randall Grichuk gave up 3 runs that should have been unearned to John Lackey in the first inning because he doesn't know how to catch a fly ball. Randy Choate gave up another one. There's 4 of the 5 runs the Giants scored yesterday were hand-delivered by the Cardinals' defense. In Game 1, Matt Carpenter and Colton Wong gave up runs with their bad defense. The Giants, on the other hand, haven't had much bad defense, absent Pablo Sandoval's waving at the ground ball hit by Peralta yesterday that some drunken official scorer ruled a hit. Should have been an error. Other than that, the Giants' defense has been bulletproof. Hunter Pence got turned around the wrong way yesterday, but he had no chance to catch the ball anyway. It hit way up on the wall. The Giants are executing at all of the little things. Their offense is much more effective than the Cardinals. I saw a piece yesterday, what's wrong with the Giants' offense? I say, what's wrong with the Cardinals' offense? Giants have outscored the Cardinals in this series. And they've done it without the benefit of a single home run. So the argument should be made the Giants' offense is clicking a lot better than the Cardinals, who are depending on the long ball to score runs. They've been fortunate enough to get it. but they haven't hit any with anybody on. Colton Wong came close yesterday. The Giants aren't hitting the ball late in games. They've blown a 4-0 lead and still won the game. So that's how the Giants play. If you're going to make mistakes, they're going to take advantage. That's not luck. And the Cardinals are woefully inept at doing the little things properly. Woefully inept. So until the Cardinals can clean that up, they're going to be in trouble. Absolutely in trouble. And by the way, in that 39-game postseason run for the Giants since 2010, they've committed a total of 20 errors. They've allowed only 6 unearned runs in 39 games, while they've taken advantage of 23 unearned runs. Now, in my opinion, 26 unearned runs, because Grichuk, even though it falls as a hit, that was an error. So they're a plus 17 even without that in unearned runs in 38 postseason games. That's why they win. So if the Cardinals would clean up their bad defense, which it has been all year, they might be in the lead in this series, but they're not. But Grichuk should have caught that ball. Remember, all we're hearing is what a great outfielder he is. Great outfielders make that catch. Great outfielders hold on to the ball that he dropped when he hit the wall in St. Louis. Or hit the fence. He didn't hit the wall. He hit a padded fence. But they don't make the plays, and the Giants do. So it's pretty simple so far. The Cardinals are fortunate to have won one game in this series. Neil's up first. Welcome to the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. Neil, how are you?
I'm doing okay, Kevin. So you're predicting that the Giants win the series, right? I mean this playoff thing.
I predicted before this series that the Giants would beat the Cardinals in this series. Yes.
I just want to make
sure.
Well,
then why would you ask me?
To make sure that's what you said. I know you hate the Cardinals. When the Cardinals don't hit the home run,
you're the only person.
You're the only person you criticize.
You're the only person who would say that I hate the Cardinals. I point out what's wrong, and you consider I'm talking now. Turn them down. You consider that. Slaten hates the Cardinals. I'm going to pout about it. The Cardinals are playing shoddy baseball. You going to dispute that?
I don't think they played that well last night. No, I don't think.
How about game one? How about game one?
How about game two?
I just asked you a question. How about
How about game two?
No, shoddy baseball. That's the question. They played shoddy baseball. What do you mean, how about game two? You don't think throwing a wild pitch and allowing a guy to score from second base isn't shoddy baseball?
I think there was something wrong with his shoes. I think he had a lot of mud on his shoes.
Oh, it was his shoes. Okay, I got you. It was his shoes. So in your opinion, the Cardinals haven't played shoddy baseball. Is that what you're saying?
I said they were outplayed game one and game three. I think they played game on game two.
Are they playing shoddy baseball?
For the most part.
Oh, okay. So everything I've said then is true. Somehow you agree with what I'm saying, but you translate that into me hating the Cardinals.
I'm telling you that when you always bring out the negatives in the Cardinals. You never see much good about them at all. When they
That's because you don't listen. That's because you don't listen. I can't help it. I can't help it if you don't listen. You just don't listen. In fact, I've said plenty of positive things about the Cardinals throughout the year. I don't say much positive about Mike Matheny because he doesn't do anything that would render me to compliment him. He's not a good manager. He doesn't seem to understand the game whatsoever, especially in terms of how to handle a bullpen or a double switch. So you go ahead and tell me what I should be saying that's so nice and rosy about their performance and the performance of their manager. Go ahead. I'll wait for you. So you got nothing. That's what I thought. So once again, a complete jackwagon. He's got nothing. When you ask him a question, he hangs up. Admitting that the Cardinals play shoddy baseball, but somehow criticizing me for saying it. That's the problem with the sheeple. They can't handle the truth. It's not my fault that nobody on that team can seem to catch or throw the ball. How did that translate into being my fault? It's not my fault that the manager doesn't know what he's doing. That's not my fault. I guess it's my fault that Molina got hurt. It's not my fault that the manager won't pitch Michael Wacha, but keeps trotting Adam Wainwright out there, who's completely ineffective. 0 for 2 so far in starts this year in the playoffs. He's been horrible. It's not my fault that the manager keeps at least two players, on this roster that won't play. It's not my fault. And I'm not the one who threw the ball away yesterday either. I guess that was a great play by Randy Choate. I'm supposed to say, wow, what a great play by Randy Choate. It's just unfortunate that he threw the ball into the bullpen. It's just unfortunate that Colton Wong doesn't know the proper footwork. That's just unfortunate. We shouldn't expect a major league player to know which foot's supposed to be on the bag when he's covering first. We shouldn't expect a major league player making millions of dollars to be able to throw the ball from the pitcher's mound to first base accurately. We shouldn't expect that, and you must hate the Cardinals if you say that that's a bad play. You must hate the Cardinals if you think that Grichuk should have handled that fly ball in the first inning yesterday. You must hate them. Matt Carpenter boots a ground ball. Trevor Rosenthal throws a wild pitch that bounces 5 feet in front of the plate. That Tony Cruz, again, horrible fundamentals, tries to backhand. Can't find it. Tying run scores from second. That's my fault because I think that's a horrible play. I hate the Cardinals because I said that's a horrible play. But this clown thinks that Rosenthal throws a wild pitch because he's got dirt in his spikes. Have you ever heard that one before? I haven't. I've never heard that before in my life. I'm sorry, that guy hit the ball 500 feet off me, but I've got dirt in my spikes. I don't know what to do. I'm walking guys left and right in the one inning I pitch, but there's dirt in my spikes.
Don't they play on a dirt field?
I think the pitcher's mound is dirt. And I think everybody else pitches in that game, and no one seems to have that issue. That's why you have spikes, by the way, so that you can dig into the dirt. Only Trevor Rosenthal has that issue. And that's only after he throws a wild pitch that bounces 5 feet in front of the plate. When he's striking a guy out, there never seems to be dirt stuck in his spikes. Isn't that amazing? What a coincidence. It's just like in It's a Wonderful Life. Every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings. Every time Trevor Rosenthal makes a mistake, it's because of dirt in his spikes. I'm a fool to not know that. Sorry, Trevor. I apologize. What a fool I am. I thought you just made a horrible pitch, but it's because there was dirt in your spikes. And I guess that's why Tony Cruz tried to backhand the ball instead of getting his lazy butt over to block it. It must have been dirt caught in his spikes. I see nothing. I know nothing. And I guess Randall Grichuk had some outfield turf stuck in his spikes yesterday, so he couldn't go catch a fly ball that hit at the bottom of the wall. I don't know what's wrong with me. I should have figured all that stuff out. And when guys are waving at pitches and striking out, it's because there's dirt in their shoes. Jim is up next. Welcome to the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. Jim, how are you?
I'm fine, Kevin. How are you today? Thanks for taking my call as you always do. I appreciate it.
I am doing well.
Kevin, again, I'm going to harp on something I harp on all the time when I talk to you. Marcos Gonzalez comes in and pitches pretty good in a baseball, and he only throws 16 pitches, but can't pitch another inning. And then on top of it, Seth Maness comes in the next inning and throws 6 pitches. But my God, he can't pitch another inning. We have to go to the lefty specialist, who isn't that much of a lefty specialist at all. This team is so mismanaged from every aspect of the batting order to the pitching rotation to the bullpen. Again, like I say, what's what is his manager experience other than this? The Chesterfield Athletic Association. It is a crock. This team wins the division they won because they have the best talent in that division. If they were not in the Central Division, they were in the East or in the West, they wouldn't make the playoffs. They'd be lucky. They'd be extremely lucky to make a wild card. And as I also rant too, you are so correct about the St. Louis Rams. That team is so poorly constructed personnel-wise and coaching-wise. Do people realize that after the last 45 minutes of that game against the San Francisco 49ers, they were outscored 31-3? Does anybody have a clue there? And we're not making adjustments on how we do things. We get outscored 31-3. Can somebody answer that for me? I'm going to hang up and listen to your comments. Thanks for taking my call, as you always do.
All right, Jim, thank you. Well, Jeff Fisher answered it. He said, we're doing things right here. We're not changing anything. So he thinks getting outscored 31-3 after the first quarter is doing things right. That's his definition of doing things right. That's what he said yesterday at his news conference. The Rams aren't going to change things because we're doing it right here. Okay, let's backtrack. 7-8-1, 7-9, and 1-4. Now that's the first time in the history of the NFL that losing has been described as doing things right. I'm pretty sure in Tampa they don't think they're doing things right. I'm pretty sure in Jacksonville they don't think they're doing things right. But Jeff Fisher thinks getting outscored 31-3 by the 49ers after the first quarter is doing things right. He thinks blowing a 21-0 lead to the Cowboys at home is doing things right. He thinks getting pounded by the Minnesota Vikings, what was that one, 35-6, here at home is doing things right.
Good
He
work.
thinks
Take the rest of the day off.
falling behind the Eagles 34-7, giving up a blocked punt for a touchdown and a sack fumble for a touchdown is doing things right. He thinks getting one sack from his entire defensive team in 5 games is doing things right. That set a record for futility, by the way. No one in the history of the NFL since they started keeping sack records has gotten as little as 1 sack in 5 games to start the season. So the Rams made history with their ineptitude, and Fisher thinks they're doing things right. I agree with him. Why change?
I'm not a smart man.
Who's up next? I'm sorry, Owen. Chuck is next. Welcome, Chuck. How are you?
Oh, hey. Hi, Kevin. Hey, I was just listening to you on the drive here. I'm just you're kind of echoing my sentiment on Matheny. I really don't think he does know what he's doing. I mean, if he claims to be a fan of LaRousse and follow that percentage thing, the guys, his idea was that you've got Schode, who's a left-hander, going against, what was it, 2 left-handers and a righty?
A lefty
and the right-handed
and then
hitter
a righty.
was a 170 hitter, I think.
Yeah.
But these guys actually had better batting averages. If you looked at their stats and their splits, they had better batting averages against left-handed pitchers than they did against righties. And the other thing was you're putting Schode in a position, having him go out and start an inning, and basically the guy, I think the stat was he was in 60 games this year, 50-something games, and he pitched 35 innings. So he never throws more than probably, I think the stat was he averages 10 pitches a game. The guy's 39 years old.
Yeah, he's
not meant to go out there, I mean, in the position he was put in.
He's a one-trick pony. He's supposed to get a left-hander out in a crucial situation. Okay, so if you thought the crucial situation was the leadoff hitter, Crawford, he went out there to get Crawford out, fine. He walked him. So he walked the guy that he's supposed to be good at getting out. As soon as that happened, he should have been out. So Matheny compounded that mistake by leaving him in there.
Yeah, the thing is that and Matheny's kind of this, and he's not the only one that uses this, so by no means is he the only one I think is a dope, but they, Rosenthal's our closer. He was, he's been in that position all year long, and we can't switch it. It's like that guy in Washington. Well, I got, the pitcher's throwing, 90-something pitches. He's got a shutout going, and he takes him out the 9th inning and puts Drew Storn in there, and he blows the game. It's like, why? Well, we have to. That's what we've done all year. But there's some logic to letting a guy get right if a guy's having problems, let him pitch himself out of it, like Rosenthal. But that's in 162 games. Right now, you got 7 games. You can't afford to give a game away, and that's what they're doing if they put Rosenthal in there.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I don't believe Rosenthal should be the closer right now. He just like Mujica last year, Matheny stayed with him till they bombed him into submission, and so then he finally stubbornly yielded to Rosenthal. Well, this year, Rosenthal's the guy causing problems in that role, and so he shouldn't be there. And now only the Cardinals with Mike Matheny could be so ingenious to have an insurance closer for the closer. So you're taking Carlos Martinez out of the equation, and you're holding him back just in case Rosenthal gags it up again. I can't even believe I hear these things.
Well, to me, if you have, and I know we always go back to Whitey Herzog. I kind of agreed with this, but he had 2. If I don't trust you and you can't throw strikes, you're not on the team. You're off the roster. If I can't trust you, why are you even taking up the spot? And that's where they're at with Rosenthal, I think, unfortunately.
Well, and that's where they're at with Choate.
So why even put him in? Why even talk about putting him in?
Well, and it's the same with Choate. You've got two guys that you're entrusting late inning roles to that can't throw strikes. I mean, it makes no sense at all. Why is Sam Freeman not on this roster? It makes no sense.
I agree, Kevin. I mean, and I don't have anything against Walk. I'd rather see him because that's the other side of the coin too. They're gonna trot what's his name out there, Wainwright in game. If they get it to Game 5, they will trot Wainwright out there. Well, I mean, it will go to Game 5, but if we're down 3-1, they'll trot him out there and he'll get pounded. I guarantee you. And
there's no reason to put him out there again. Not now. It's got to be Walker, and they should have started grooming Walker right after Game 1. That your game is Game 5. It didn't happen to Wainwright once. It's happened to him his last 2 starts in postseason. So that deserves a sit down since he's had elbow problems that he's been having during the season. He's having them again. Why even do it? I mean, why do it to Wainwright? It's not fair to him. Of course he's going to say he's okay, but the evidence suggests the contrary thought.
Yeah, I don't think Matheny's got the fortitude to say to him, "You can't." The best guy to start this game is not you. I'd start anyone else. I'd go to the pitch by committee, 3-4 innings from Martinez and what's the other guy, Gonzalez, and try and get it to the 7th or 8th inning, and maybe bring it. You know what I mean? Go use what you got.
Yeah, sure. Well, here's the other thing: the idiot dominoes began to fall yesterday when Matheny took Lackey out for no reason whatsoever. Lackey is dominating the Giants after the first inning, and that wasn't all his fault. Grichuk should have caught that fly ball, but he was elevating the ball. But after the first inning, he wasn't. And the Giants got 1 hit, and he had only 79 pitches after that long first inning, and 79 pitches through 6 innings. What are you taking him out for?
Yeah,
it makes no sense.
58 pitches in 5 innings, and then the first inning he had something like 28 pitches or something. I think he threw 50. I thought they said 58 pitches after the first inning. So he was averaging 10 pitches an inning, basically, or 11. So
no, if he had gone 6 innings,
Kevin, it's just what we do.
If he had gone 6 innings of shutout ball and then gave up 4 in the 7th, okay, you take him out. But it wasn't that way. It was just the opposite.
Yeah. No, it's that same, and it's football, it's baseball. It's like, this is the way we do it. Nobody thinks outside the box. Nobody looks at the players they have and says, here's the best player that I have that can give me a chance to win. They don't play that way. They're like, well, we spent 162 games with Wainwright and Rosenthal. Neither one of them's got anything left, but we're going to put them in there because that's what we've done all year. And
I think Fisher's my favorite. This has been going on for 3 years here, and now he's getting his brains beaten in, and it's the same old thing every single week, and he says, we're not changing anything. We're doing it right. Who would say that? I mean, how does he get away with even saying that? I mean, if I own that team, if I'm Sam Kroenke and I got a coach who's that much of a knucklehead, he's gone. He's just gone. I don't care if I have to pay the idiot $7 million a year. It's my fault for giving him that much to begin with. But I'm getting rid of somebody who's that stupid. I mean, Fisher's just brain dead stupid.
Well, with Fisher too. I mean, and I want to say I don't. People talk about how much talent the Rams have, and I'm like, well, give me one Pro Bowl player on that team other than Quinn.
No, they've only got one elite player on defense. Now, you would think that when you take a look at the size of Jared Cook and Lance Kendricks and Brian Quick and Britt, that they should all be Pro Bowl receivers, tight ends and receivers, but none of them are. So that tells you a lot about them, and it also tells you a lot about the lack of talent at evaluating talent that Fisher is. Again, here's what mystified me Monday, just prior to the game, when I hear that Greg Robinson is all of a sudden a starting offensive lineman, and I see that Trey Mason is going from not dressing to dressing and getting a role in this game. And I say to myself, what am I missing here? And then I realize it's Monday Night Football. So Monday Night Football dictates that Jeff Fisher doesn't want his draft talked about in derogatory manner by John Gruden all night, which he would have had Robinson been sitting on the bench and Trey Mason not dressing. There would have been questions to answer. And Fisher doesn't want that. Oh, no, my draft. Look at my draft. My first-round guy is going to start tonight. My other first-round guy is starting on defense for the first time all year, and Trey Mason's going to be getting the ball. Well, then this tells me that you've – well, Robinson didn't play that. I don't think Robinson did, but Trey Mason did. So that tells me that you've got a guy, a running back, who's better than all of your other running backs that you haven't even dressed for 4 games. He's clearly better than everybody else they have.
Yeah, he seems to be after watching that game yesterday.
And here's
the pop. I don't know if he can carry the ball 300 times, but
well, he may not have to. But here's the other part about Robinson. Here's the other thing about Robinson. Jake Long is terrible. All right, Jake Long's going to get another quarterback hurt if they don't get him out of there. So is Robinson so bad that he can't take the position he was drafted so high to man? He's so bad he can't beat Jake Long out?
Yeah, he's got. If that's the case, Kevin, he's got to be the worst player ever picked in the first round because Jake Long is awful. I've been seeing that since the season started. The guy has no lateral movement. He's got no strength in his shoulder. I guess his shoulder injury. He has no movement. He can't do anything. The guys go by him like he's standing still.
Yeah, he's so bad it's scary, and Robinson can't beat him out. The only draft pick that comes close is Jason Smith when the Rams picked him 2nd overall. But at least he started, and he started at the position they drafted him to start in. When he was so bad there, they switched him to the other side. But at least he played tackle. This guy can't even play tackle.
But yeah, the reason they're playing Jake Long is because they're paying him that whatever it is, $6-7 million a year.
Well, $37.5 million. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a reason Miami let him go after 5 years. Normally,
of course,
an offensive lineman is good for 10, 12 years. Now, if he was really that good, Miami wouldn't have let him go after 5 years. They'd have gave the guy money and kept him.
Nobody lets a left tackle go if he's any good. No,
right.
They're too
anything left, you're going to keep him. You're going to give him a contract.
Exactly. All right, man. I appreciate the call.
All right.
Thank you. Hey, by the way, Mike Matheny's going with the exact same lineup that he went with yesterday. Przinski will play. Molina will not. It's amazing to me that he doesn't see what I see, and that is that Matt Carpenter should be hitting 3rd. Jay leading off, Wong hitting 2nd. You can keep Przinski, Grichuk, and Miller as your 7, 8, and 9. That's fine. But Carpenter's your best hitter. Your best hitter should hit 3rd. He's clearly a better hitter than Holiday. He's better than Adams and Peralta. Jay has been getting hits. So recognize the obvious. He gets on base. Get him in the top spot. Wong has been hitting and hitting with some pop. Plus he can run. So hit him 2nd. Hit Carpenter 3rd. You can then either switch Holiday or Adams at 4th and 5th. Peralta hits 6th. Przinski, Grichuk, and Miller. I mean, this is too easy. But it's too hard for Mike Matheny. So Molina's not going to play again. And I wondered yesterday, watching him out there throwing the ball and all that kind of happy horse crap, what is he doing that if he's injured? You don't you want this injury to rest? If you have any hope of playing him in this series, isn't rest the prescription? They're saying, of course, the local newspaper says a lot of things in the same article regarding his injury that are contradictory. One says he has a torn oblique, the other a strain. Then it also, in the same article, by the way, and then it says that he's going to take a cortisone shot and that the doctors have assured him that he can't injure himself any worse. Well, if he can't injure himself any worse, then he ought to be playing. Then it's just a matter of your threshold of pain. What are they telling us? His threshold of pain is low? I wouldn't think so, but that's what they're saying. All right, Sam is up next. Welcome, Sam. How are you?
Doing great, Kevin. Carpe diem.
Carpe diem.
Kevin, how on earth did the Rams look as good as...
How can what, Sam? I'm sorry. I lost him. Go ahead, Sam.
Yeah, at the beginning of the game, how could the Rams look so good, and then like a light switch was flipped about the time it flipped over in the second quarter?
Well, it's because other teams make adjustments. The Rams do not. San Francisco obviously made adjustments at halftime that changed that game around. And they had the advantage of going in, thanks to Janoris Jenkins, with an 80-yard touchdown pass, knowing also that they were going to get the ball back to start the third quarter, which they then turned into another touchdown. But they made adjustments. The Rams did not. It's very similar to Gary Pinkel. Teams always make adjustments against Missouri at halftime. He never does. He gets beaten in the second half all the time. There's a rare one that pops up here and there, but it's as rare as the cure for cancer. Same with Fisher. No adjustments. 49ers made them, and that's how good teams do things.
Yeah, and then as good as Trey Mason looked at the beginning of the game, do you know that he only carried the ball 5 times all game?
5 times for 40 yards. You don't want that guy averaging 8 yards a carry to be in your backfield very often. No, let's get Benny Cunningham out there and Zach Stacy, and who's the other guy that they keep playing? Come off it.
Cunningham.
It's ridiculous. Trey Mason should be your primary ball carrier, clearly, after watching him one game. We know that. Apparently, though, some guy who plays special teams keeps getting that other running back spot. Fisher, they mentioned his name. I don't even know who the hell he is. I've never heard of the guy. But apparently he got hurt, so Trey Mason got his chance. What? This is a guy you drafted in the 3rd round. I haven't seen Zach Stacy on special teams. This is your featured runner, Trey Mason, not Zach Stacy.
I was just wondering if he had to check back into the witness protection program after that one series, and then he was able to get out again for one more series in the third quarter, or
well, he was clearly too good for Fisher's taste. You don't want a running back that averages 8 yards a carry out there too often. I love the Rams. They never come back to things that are successful. You know, they hit a Cook on a slant pattern for about 45 yards in the first quarter, never throw it again. It's amazing. And they're not alone in that. All these coaches think they're so damn smart. Oh, no, they'll be ready for that next time. We won't come back to that. Really? They weren't ready for it the first time. Hey, our good friends at the Ernie Patty Collision Center want to hear from you. If you have anything from a minor paintless dent to the biggest things in terms of a body damage and transmission and engine problems, they do it all at Ernie Patty Collision Center, 4823 Potomac, 314-752-0400. All things from minor paintless dents to major collision repairs, mechanical repairs from minor to replacement of engines and transmissions. And they do the small stuff, so don't sweat the small stuff. Tire and wheel balancing, alignments, great pricing. They'll do it fairly for you at Ernie Patty Collision Center. They get direct repair from most major insurance companies. And at the Ernie Patty Collision Center, there's a lifetime guarantee on all workmanship and paint. Lifetime guarantee. And they have gone environmentally friendly with their paints. They've gone green, waterborne paints. They'll get your car back quickly. You can watch the progress of your repairs online at ErniePattyCollision.com. Gene Staten and his staff have been doing this for over 25 years in the same location, 4823 Potomac, 314-752-0400. That tells you they're doing it right and they're pricing it right. All right, this is the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court live from the Marshall Wireless Sprint Store in St. Charles. We're on Mid Rivers Mall Drive at Highway 94. Come on out and say hello. take advantage of the great, phenomenal deals on the iPhone that the Marshall Wireless Sprint stores are offering. And they have the new iPhones in stock here. You get the exclusive iPhone for Life package, $70 a month for life, unlimited everything, and a new phone. The cost of the new phone is included in that. They'll even pay your cancellation fee up to $350 only at Marshall Wireless Sprint. All right, we're back with more on 590 The Man and TalkSTL.com, streaming live right after this.
Let me ask you a question. Are you getting enough? I bet you'd love more, right? Well, AdamandEve.com wants to give you more with 10 free gifts. First, you'll get a sexy surprise for her. Second, a specially selected toy for him. And third, a little something we know you'll both enjoy. Plus, you'll get 6 full-length adult movies on DVD. And number 10, free shipping on your entire order. So what do you have to do to get your 10 free gifts? It's not hard. Just go to AdamandEve.com and select any one item. It could be an adventurous new toy, sexy piece of lingerie, or anything you desire. Just enter offer code FREE68 at checkout, and you'll get all 10 free gifts. Go check out AdamandEve.com today. Select one item and get 10 free gifts, including free shipping, when you enter offer code FREE68. That's FREE68 at AdamandEve.com.
You may not know about Forey's Restaurant and Bar, located at the corner of McKenzie and Higgy, one of the newest places in St. Louis for great food and televised sporting events. Forey's offers a full lunch and dinner menu featuring delicious appetizers, salads, burgers, and pizza, as well as amazing pasta, steak, chicken, and seafood entrees. And don't forget about the Sunday breakfast buffet until 2 p.m. Happy hour all day, Monday through Friday until 6 p.m. and during all televised home games. Join Forey's tonight at 8025 McKenzie in Afton. And visit Forey'sSTL.com.
In the sports world, a good offense starts with a good defense. The professionals at Lakeside Roofing believe in this same motto for your roof. Our full-time service department provides the defense to ensure that you get the most out of your roof system. A regular schedule of roof assessment and maintenance will ensure that your roof will hold up to harsh environment, particularly spring wind and hail, as well as the overall aging process. Included in the inspection is a personalized preventive maintenance program specific to your roof system. This defensive strategy can extend the life of your commercial or residential roof for many years. Choose the winning team of professionals at Lakeside Roofing. We're a family-owned business that has built a solid reputation for excellent service from the initial call to the completed job. Call us today at 618-344-2800 or 314-241-5253 or visit us on the web at lakesideroofing.com. That's lakesideroofing.com. Choose experience. Choose Lakeside.
590 KFNS, Wood River, St. Louis. Sports Talk Radio.
Dogtown Pizza is the freshest pizza in your local grocer's freezer aisle. All Dogtown Pizza sauce, crust, and cheese are 100% natural, and they use local ingredients from local suppliers. They also offer a full-service fundraising program dedicated to providing you with the best possible experience and achieving the results you desire. For more information, visit dogtownpizza.com. Who bakes the best pizza in St. Louis? You do. Dogtown Pizza, family owned and operated.
In baseball, if you're with the team applying the most pressure, you're with the winner. However, this is never true when purchasing an at-need or pre-need funeral. I'm Kathy Cutis, and I'm here to personally guarantee you will never find a pressurized sales pitch at Cutis. Our trained personnel answer your questions and you make the decisions. If you ever find yourself at a funeral home where you feel pressure, you're in the wrong place. Cutis Funeral Home, affordability with dignity for over 100 years.
This is a beer ad for guys who like drinking beer with their buddies and hanging out and high-fiving each other while hanging out and drinking beer. But this is a beer ad for a different type of beer with a refreshing taste of apple. Red's Apple Ale. It's just the right amount of different. So this beer ad doesn't end with 4 dudes doing a quadruple high five because honestly, who does that? Crisp like an apple, brewed like an ale. Red's Apple Ale. Pick different. Red's Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell of the domestic litigation firm Cordell & Cordell.
Here are a few quick divorce tips that we provide our clients. Number one, don't move out of your house just because your wife tells you to. Remember, that's your house too. And number two, don't blow through the financial statements that you file with the court. These are key exhibits, and they often make or break your case. And number three, watch the social networking. Expect your wife's lawyer to do a thorough online search. And incidentally, this is a two-way street. Now, a bonus tip. Partner with your attorney in assembling evidence. You're one of the two leading experts on your life and marriage. Your attorney needs your input to achieve your goals. And finally, talk to your attorney before taking action. Good luck.
Call Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's attorneys, a partner men can count on. 314-725-0000. Office is in St. Louis, St. Charles, Jefferson County, Edwardsville, Belleville, and Union by appointment only.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision that should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Will respect the authority. This is the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court on 590 The Man.
And we welcome you back into the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick, coming your way on 590 The Man and streaming live at talkstl.com. We're at the Marshall Wireless Sprint Store in St. Charles off Highway 94 and Mid-Rivers Mall Drive. Hey, our good friends out at Gateway Buick GMC have all kinds of things going on. But first of all, this. They know that with the economy and the way things have gone, people's credit has taken a hit to some level or another. They understand that, so they guarantee you credit approval at Gateway Buick GMC. Guaranteed. And listen to the kind of deals they're offering you. On all remaining 2014 LaCrosse models, $12,000 off. On all Enclaves, $12,000 off. Encores, $7,000 off. In addition, they're now taking you $500 off on all remaining 2014 models in stock. But not just those, an extra $500. They have a phenomenal car show, their first annual car show this Saturday with a canned food drive, a 50-50 drawing that benefits the Backstoppers, and there'll be food there for the customers at Gateway Buick GMC this Saturday. Then on October 30th, the night before Halloween, it's Trunk or Treat at Gateway Buick GMC from 6:45 to 9. How about that? There are going to be hay rides, hot dogs, and popcorn. So bring the kids to the Trunk or Treat at Gateway Buick GMC on October 30th from 6:45 to 9. What a great way to take a look at the wonderful cars in stock. At Gateway Buick GMC, we are professional grade, and they're right out there at 270 and McDonald Boulevard in Hazelwood. Our lines are open at 399-8923. 399-8923. So the Cardinals have their lineup out. No Molina. Same lineup as yesterday, actually. Same lineup. Now, the lineup itself is causing problems. I believe, and what do you have to lose, by the way, that Matt Carpenter should be hitting third in this lineup. Matt Carpenter does not get enough at-bats with runners on base. Colton Wong should be hitting second. Lead off with Jay. Jay's doing his job. I mean, he doesn't look good doing it, but he's getting flares for base hits. I mean, I would play my outfield so far in if I were the Giants when he bats. I think he's incapable of hitting one over their head. All right, Mercedes joins us in the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. Hello, Mercedes. How are you doing today?
Hey, Kevin. How you doing today?
I am doing well.
And out of this wet weather, this cold and flu weather that we have going on here in St. Louis.
It is crazy. I'm trying my best, but you know what? I'm thinking of building an ark.
Hey, I was listening. I got in the car. I was listening to what you were saying about Mancini and even Jeff Fisher. And if you look at Mancini, I think what people have to realize and understand, and I think it's something that we are overlooking, I guess, as Cardinals fans, is that Mancini is making to pull on the experience they have. Because he has no place to go. He's only been managing, what is it, 3 years? I mean, where can he go? He has no point of reference.
Well, I know that he does talk to Whitey, but Whitey's not there in the dugout with him. So in terms of the game situation, I don't know who he leans on. But here's the thing, Mercedes. I think you hit it on the head. This is his, third year, and all 3 years have been in the postseason. All 3 years have been to this level or further. So by now, you would think that experience should have taught him, not that you need experience to know these things, that you don't put a left-handed specialist in there after he walks the left-handed hitter he's supposed to get out. You don't leave him out there. And you don't take Lackey out when he's coasting and therefore tax your bullpen for no reason. I mean, those are the two basic moves. And then you don't save a guy with the talent of Martinez as an insurance man for Trevor Rosenthal. If Trevor Rosenthal needs somebody to carry his glove, it sure as hell shouldn't be Carlos Martinez. I mean, this guy's actually talented.
I couldn't agree with you more on that. And the decisions that he's made, two things, some other things that stick out to me are one, why is Waka not more involved? Why is he on the roster taking up a spot if you're not going to use him? I mean, he warms up in the bullpen. He's done what we've seen him do it twice, I believe, but he really hasn't done anything or been what he did last year with Shelby Miller. And I sat there and tried to figure out why did it take so long for him to come in and at least do something, because when you're in the playoffs like this, you don't have time to save bullets. You got to empty the holster every game.
You bet. And in my way of thinking, based on Wainwright's 2 postseason starts, he doesn't have it. So Waka should have been your 5th game starter as soon as game 1 ended. That should have been the case. Waka's going to start game 5, come hell or high water, because Wainwright doesn't have it. Now, that's a shame because he's been so good for so long, but clearly his arm or his elbow or something is bothering him physically because he's nowhere near the same pitcher. But you have to admit that and quit costing your team by trotting him out there.
Exactly. And the last thing I wanted to talk about was Fisher. I know I talked to you a while ago and was telling me that, I didn't understand the media love fest and the Rams fans love fest with Jeff Fisher. He was, Jesus Christ walking on the wall. He's pretty much proven now what his record has always been. He's mediocre. He's been a mediocre coach, struck lightning in a bottle and got to the Super Bowl. If you look at him, and I know I have to say this, I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan at heart, but if you look at what Jason Garrett in year 4 and what Jeff Fisher has done in year 4, you can actually start to see some sort of change in what they've done. And this is what I mean by that. Look at the draft picks. Look at who they drafted. Every guy the Cowboys has drafted is playing some significant role. They don't have a guy that's a 3rd-round pick that doesn't play until, game 5, game 6 of the season. A 1st-round pick, a number 2 pick, an offensive lineman that doesn't crack the starting lineup until almost midway through the season. And I think what we see right now is Jeff Fisher is who he is, an 8-8 coach, 9-7 coach. I don't see him being any more than that. And if the Rams do stay, I don't think he's going to be the guy to take them where they need to go, just based on his record and what you see. Because there's no way on God's green earth, Kevin, you should have ever thought Sean Hill just started 1 game before Austin Davis.
Right. It's interesting, Mercedes. I don't know if you were watching the preseason game at Cleveland, the game in which Bradford was injured, but Marshall Faulk said during that telecast when Davis was playing, he played a lot in that game, he said that he really likes what he sees and that this kid could be a good NFL quarterback. Now, maybe the Rams ought to turn their player evaluation job over to Marshall Faulk, because he apparently knows more than Jeff Fisher and Brian Schottenheimer.
Sometimes, what you often say about coaches, they make this thing too complicated. I watch some of these guys, and I like what Chip Kelly's doing in Philadelphia because he's exposing all of these coaches to have play charts that are as wide as a hood on my car with 400 plays on them and 20,000 different formations. And he comes in with a couple cue cards and calls an offense and calls plays, and his team is successful. Sometimes I think coaches tend to overthink and try to outthink the room. They try to be too smart. They try to be too wise. Like you said, why didn't they keep running the slant? Oh, we ran it one time. Well, they'll be ready for it. Well, let them show you they're ready for it, and then you go to something else.
Exactly. Like I was saying about Jared Cook on that slant that gained 40-something yards. The Rams never come back to that. I never understand that. You're either going to stop that play or I'm going to run it all night. And until you stop it, I'm going to run it all night.
And last thing I'm going to tell you, Kevin, I promise, is that you notice when they were at the goal line, why is it that you have receivers that are 6'3", 6'4", and the only pass play you throw is a speed out to a slot guy, and not one time did you ever try to throw the ball into the end zone to make any kind of play and use the height and the weight that you have and what you paid all of these free agents and what you drafted guys for over the years, and you're not even going to use them. Take care, Kevin.
Thank you, Mercedes. When I see the size of Lance Kendricks and Jared Cook and Brian Quick and Britt, and I see the obvious physical mismatches they create on the defense, none of whom are as tall as those guys, and you never throw the ball up high to them for a jump ball, never. They never do. The Rams never do it. Why do you not take advantage of that mismatch? It seems too easy to believe. It's just like when Kurt Warner was playing with the Cardinals. He'd throw the ball up high to Larry Fitzgerald all the time because it's that easy. You've got a mismatch, a physical mismatch, and you don't take advantage of it. I mean, look at the size of Cook and Kendricks. Are you kidding me? Who in the world can guard them if you throw the ball up high? For that matter, Quick. But instead, you get down near the goal line, you throw the ball to Austin Pettis. Austin Pettis, who, by the way, from the 2-yard line, runs a pattern short of the goal line and can't get in. That was a beauty. They're lucky that they got in on the running play the following play. Who runs a pattern from the 2-yard line short of the goal line?
Joey.
I don't know anybody. Joey's up. Hello, Joey. Welcome to the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. How are you?
Good night, Kevin. I've caught a little bit of the show as I got the car and I listened to this Rams stuff. Kevin, I'm gonna be completely partial on both sides here, and I mentioned this, of course, last week after the Rams game. Kevin, these officials, and I know you've mentioned it many times, it's so bad now. And I'm not just gonna sit on the Jared Cook call, which was terrible, and even the league office admitted it was terrible. But when I was watching the game, what I saw, and of course, no local media will report this, on the first, it was either the first or second Rams touchdown drive, there probably should have been a couple of holds on Jake Long, but, that didn't get called either, which benefited us. And then on the back end, the terrible call on Jared Cook, which changed the momentum of the entire game. Are these guys just blind out there, Kevin? I don't.
Well, I think they're incompetent. And when you see that play, how you would even think of calling that pass interference on the offense is amazing to me. If anything, the linebacker was obstructing Cook from running his route. So how that's pass interference is beyond me. Now, having said that, and that was a huge play, you've got to be able to overcome that. And the Rams collapsed. And for Fisher to insist that because they almost blocked an extra point on the last touchdown of the game means they didn't collapse, he's out of his mind. They were outscored 31-3 after the first quarter. 31-3. What do you mean you didn't collapse? Of course you did.
Yeah, and Kevin, just as Ray Armstrong was on the cut list last Monday or Tuesday, I didn't see Janoris Jenkins on the cut list today, and he should have been there.
Not only did you not see that on the cut list, not only did you see that not on the cut list, Joey, but you didn't see him come out of the game after that play either. Now keep this in mind: the Rams have had two big leads at home against two very good teams, San Francisco and Dallas. 21-0 over Dallas, 14-0 over San Francisco. And in both games, the play that turned the game against the Rams was an absolutely disgraceful play by Janoris Jenkins, forgetting about Dez Bryant so he could score on about a 65-yard pass, and then thinking that he's going to be tough guy on Brandon Lloyd, and he beats him for an 80-yard touchdown with 15 seconds left. That's how both of those games turned, and yet he's still playing.
He still plays. And not only that, Kevin, and I know you've talked about this many times, how frustrating and dumb this is. Did you notice that somewhere in the second half when he actually happened to make a play and bat a pass down, there he is dancing and saying, incomplete and all that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, only the Rams could get a taunting penalty when they're getting outscored 31-3. Only the Rams could get that, but that shows the kind of thugs that Fisher brings in here and the lack of discipline that Fisher inflicts on this team. They have no discipline. They're the only team in the NFL that could get a taunting penalty when you're getting outscored 31-3 the last three quarters, but they somehow pulled that one off.
And Kevin, what I cannot understand more than anything, and this is obviously been a topic as well. The last year, this defense was pretty good. And the problem was we didn't have an offense. If you put this Austin Davis-led offense, if you put the Austin Davis-led offense with last year's defense, which it wasn't great, but it was okay, you might be all right. I mean, did Greg Williams drug the entire defense because it's the same players?
All right, Joey, I'm going to address that, but then we got to go to the break. The defense wasn't that good last year. The Rams were the worst defense against the pass last year, the worst. So it was masked because Robert Quinn had a phenomenal season. That was the difference. And they're not getting any pressure on the quarterback now. So the sack city that they want to call themselves, that was awfully presumptuous, wasn't it, for a 7-9 team? Well, they've got one sack, and they made history by getting one sack in 5 games, the only team ever to do that. So the defense wasn't that good last year. It was just hidden because of Quinn's super year. He's not having that super year this year, and we're finding out just how bad this defense was last year. They've got one elite player, that's Robert Quinn, a potentially elite player in Alec Ogletree. Joyner's too young to know. McDonald's too young to know. The rest of them aren't very good at all. All right, we're going to remind you that at Taco Bell, the quesarito is on the menu. You can get it now. It's the newest addition to the Taco Bell menu. And, of course, they don't subtract anything. And they have the $1 Crave menu going on right now. 11 different items for $1 a piece at Taco Bell. 11. I got up this morning, headed right to Taco Bell, got a couple of steak and egg burritos because their breakfast club is phenomenal. The waffle taco, the AM crunch wrap, the AM grilled taco, the sausage flatbread melt, the regular breakfast burrito. It's all there at Taco Bell. They've got all your favorites, too, the soft and hard shell tacos, the Doritos Locos tacos, the classic Taco Bell on the inside, the shell made of real nacho cheese Doritos, the bean burrito, the taco salad, they're all there. I prefer locally owned businesses that I support, so I go to locally owned Taco Bells. There's one in Chesterfield Valley. There's another one in Chesterfield up on Olive. There is a Taco Bell in Washington, Missouri, Union, St. Clair. There are Taco Bells in Illinois, in Waterloo, Columbia, Salem, Carbondale, Jerseyville, and Troy. Those are all locally owned Taco Bells. The $1 Crave menu, 11 items for $1. All right, folks, coming up next is the Window World Rewind, live here in the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. The Window World Rewind brought to you by the good folks at Window World. 314-993-1800 gets you a free in-home estimate. Any size, white vinyl, double-hung windows, just $189. From the Marshall Wireless Sprint store in St. Charles, that's where we're doing our show today. Back with the Rewind right after this.